The following podcast is recorded and produced by Emerge, a media creators co-op, in affiliation with the network at bicbp-radio.com.
Welcome back to another episode of BillsAholic Fellas. Bills coming off a huge win against the Chiefs. We're right back in the mix of things here. Things are looking up here over in Buffalo. I can't express how happy I am that the past week of football really played out well into the Bills' favor. And I'm excited to break that down tonight. Tonight's a little bit of a special episode. We got my guy, Gene from Wire to Wire Sports. Excited
What's
to have
happening,
him on,
y'all?
man.
How you feeling?
Hey, man, we're doing good. Glad to have you on. Gene, man.
Much better week for you guys than me, right?
I was just about to say.
That's fine.
Gene, a good week for Bills fans over here. You guys are coming off of a tough loss here to Dallas. Man, what's the vibes over there in Philadelphia? How we feeling?
I mean, we're jumping off bridges. That's what we do. We're 10-3, and we think we're the worst team in football. Essentially, we overreact to everything, and we lost to the two biggest contenders in the NFC in back-to-back weeks. Not only did we lose, we got embarrassed, we got bullied, we got humiliated. We got guys standing out in front of the NovaCare complex with no plate slay signs and Trashberry. Like, they're literally, Eagles fans are going nuts. Run the ball. I don't know if you guys seen that sign. Mm-hmm. They got fans standing in front of where the coach is saying, run the ball.
Oh, I know. I got Swift on fantasy. 3 points. 3 points.
I'm with you. Well, good week for Bills fans, right?
Great week for Bills fans. I mean, it obviously started off with some good things in the AFC that really shook up this week for us, and then we beat the Chiefs on Sunday. And then the biggest thing was the Dolphins losing last night. Now, I'm sure not a lot of us thought that was going to happen. There was a guy here at the table that did pick that, and that, you know, come on, guys. No shocker that a guy like me would come out and pick
And what
that
was your
week.
reasoning?
I had to go with the Titans this week because Tua was on the Manning cast. And it led me to pick the Titans. And last night I was shocked. I thought for sure I was definitely going to be wrong. But hey, we're vibing over here, man. We're vibing here. This is starting to look true again. Bills run the East. It's starting to look true again. Over here.
You think that it's pretty funny that how Patrick Mahomes is complaining about the officials after all the calls that man's gotten throughout his career, including, and the funniest part to me was in the Super Bowl versus the Eagles, a call on James Bradbury. You want to talk about not being able to make a call on a play like that, a ticky-tack play. You can't make a call in a moment like that. I felt like he was talking about James Bradbury.
Bro, the whole entire week, well, the week's young. Okay, so the last 2 days, the last 48 hours, I've said this at work the last 2 days. I thought the way that he acted after the game about crying about that call, I was like, how is he going to get upset about that call when we all know about the Bradbury call in the Super Bowl. We all were beyond pissed off about it because it's like, bro, you want to complain about you got the best call in the most critical moment in the most important game of the whole entire season.
You're absolutely right. And listen, I'll be honest with you. The Eagles did less crying over that call in the Super Bowl than the Chiefs did over a regular season call, which was blatantly right, by the way. Like, Kadarius Toney couldn't be more offsides.
100%.
Like, I felt like he was past the Bills defender. Like, it was awful.
You know, I will say to that point, like, it's something obviously like during the play, like I didn't even notice. That right there, it is crazy because that stopped what would have been probably one of the best plays that we've ever in recent years seen.
My mouth
that
dropped.
lateral. I was gonna say my jaw was on the ground. But you're right. Like I seeing the replay, it's like he was beyond blatantly offsides. Definitely for sure a good call. But I just wasn't expecting it. Not often you hear offsides on offense.
By the way, that play doesn't even break my top 50.
Whoa. You see, this is why I love you.
Didn't even
You get
break
on
my
here.
top 50, man.
No?
Kadarius Toney put his head down. If you watch, I watched the All 22. I don't know if you guys All 22. Yeah, Gene knows. He put his head down because he didn't get the ball. Miraculously looks up, catches it, and runs into the end. That play sucked.
I didn't catch
All
that.
right, fair enough.
Play stinks. Didn't count. Don't care.
Fair enough. You're right. Well,
The
hey,
funniest part about that play, and the thing that amuses me the most, is that you're all right. You're right. Say it was a great play. It wasn't a great play. But I love how Chiefs fans pretend that they would have just won the football game. You would have gave Josh Allen the ball with a minute 30 left. That doesn't change the game. All that does is it gives you a touchdown. But I truly believe that Josh Allen and the way he had that offense rolling
Too much
would have
time.
went down the field and scored and won the football game again.
Couldn't agree more.
you know what? That was kind of the vibes going around the room over at my house too. It was like, oh, too much time
Too
on the
much
clock.
time.
I had
Three
3
timeouts.
I
timeouts.
texted in the group chat.
had
That's
3
the best
timeouts.
thing that could have happened.
Yeah, but
Score. Give us the ball.
how about
Scored
it,
too
man?
early.
Our defense did something that they couldn't do against the Philadelphia Eagles, and that's finish a game. I'll tell you what. There's nothing that drove me more nuts than keeping you guys, having you guys hang around, because that's not a team that you let hang around. Because the Philadelphia Eagles, that's a good football team. We all know that's a good football team. But they finally put away a game, and it felt nice. It felt nice. We were not able to do that against the Philadelphia Eagles, or let alone a lot of other football teams this season that we should have been able to do it against. But hey, man, we got a couple of questions here for you. I wanted to start off with something that I am just curious about, because it is the grade A best question that I feel like I ever hear on these podcasts, and I just need to know, in your opinion, what's the best Philly cheesesteak in Philadelphia?
It's John's roast pork or Steve's Princess Steaks. It's one of those two. It's not Geno's. It's not Pat's. They're tourist traps when you come to Philadelphia. They're actually terrible cheesesteaks. Like, the only people that like Geno's and Pat's are people that come from out of town and try Geno's and Pat's.
I didn't.
Did you go there?
Wait, I was gonna say, hold on.
Did you go there?
Fingers are being pointed at me right now. I can tell you I've never been to Geno's or Pat's. Next time I go to Philadelphia, if I'm not banned from Philadelphia, I will definitely be trying either of those 2 places that he just said, because
Where'd you go?
I can't remember where I went, but I will tell you, I have heard that. That's funny he says that, because I've actually heard that a lot before about Geno's or Pat's. Like, it's just like the big tourist thing. Like, we had that in Buffalo with chicken wings. There's spots here where it's like people think they're notorious for being the best wing, but it's like there's way better spots. Like, there's better spots that are a little bit more low key that offer so much more. So much more. Travis, I know you got a question for him.
Yeah, it's been burning me all week. Well, yeah. Give us your initial reaction when you came across our TikTok video. I gotta know.
So, and it's funny that you say that, because, like, I love Bills Mafia. I said that to you guys before you guys hopped on. You guys are the most generous fan base in the country. I heard you guys talking about donating something when you guys were on a pre-show. I didn't know what that was, but it's a great fan base, right? And the Bills Mafia fan base reminds me a lot of the Eagles fans, because they're passionate, they're loud, they jump through tables. Like, I love that. So the initial reaction was, they don't understand. And that's okay. You're not in our conference. You're not in our division. You haven't been to our city, and you haven't dealt with our fan base. So for you guys to not understand, to me, it was more of an educational point. Like, I wanted to explain to you guys. Like, Philadelphia fans get, in my opinion, a very, very, very bad rap. Like, what's the first thing you think of when you hear Philadelphia fans? You hear snowballs, it's Santa Claus, right? You've all heard that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
no
yeah.
one knows the real story. You want the real story? I'll give you the real story of what happened in 1968 when it happened. The Eagles stunk, right? They had a ton of people trying to get people to the game. So they had a promotion in which they were going to have Santa Claus at the stadium to meet kids. Well, it snowed that day, unexpectedly, a lot more than anyone expected. And Santa Claus canceled. So the Eagles, who promised to have this huge promotion for kids to show up, were like, we don't have a Santa Claus.
Uh-oh.
So the organization grabbed a guy from the parking lot, a guy that was drinking and tailgating all day, and was like, dude, we'll give you free tickets. You just got to dress up as Santa Claus, come in the game, and talk, meet kids. So they did that. He's in the stadium drinking beers, pulling down his beard, scaring kids. So the Eagles fan base started pelting him with snowballs because he was drunk and scaring kids. It wasn't the Santa Claus that they were promised. They were lied about a promotion to bring their kids there. But like, it gets told like Eagles fans are these awful people. I'll ask you a question. If it was snowing in Buffalo and you had your kids at a game and there was a drunk, belligerent idiot scaring your kids and pulling his beard down, dissuading the thought of Santa Claus, what would you have done?
Okay, all right. I like it. I like it. I can't say that I would have reacted any different, man. I mean, that's a really interesting story. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of that. I was gonna say I've never heard that one before. That's actually a really good story. I can't say that if you're gonna react like that, I think that's a good reaction. I think it's fair. I mean, if they felt like they were a little betrayed, man, they had to do something, right?
They were very upset at the way the Philadelphia Eagles organization handled that. And they handled it in the worst way. And you're talking about in 68, 69, when the franchise was terrible. Like, they were awful. They got bums off the street in 73. They literally had open tryouts. They were the only football team that had open tryouts. That's how the story, the Vince Papale story came. He was a fan of the Eagles and became a rostered player.
That is, by the way, I'm so happy you brought that movie. That's like definitely top 10 in my movies, man, because that movie is very, very good, man. That's a good movie. And then I'm big on the whole, like, based on true stories. I love those types of movies. Like, and that one's up there. It's up there for the sport movies for sure. John, I know you had something that you kind of wanted to touch on with them. Yeah,
first off, I just want to say I do understand Philly fans. These guys are they're weird.
We're young and dumb.
Yeah, they're just weird. But I wanted your thoughts on Dallas Goedert and when he left the lineup due to that forearm and what to expect from him in the next coming weeks.
Well, what to expect from him is exactly what you've seen versus the Dallas Cowboys. He came back this past week. He looked good. He's a great receiving tight end. I love Dallas Goedert. But the Philadelphia Eagles can expect more of the same. The only thing that helps them is that their schedule significantly drops off, right? We had Dallas, Kansas City, Buffalo, San Fran, Dallas, 5 straight weeks. That is an incredible line of schedule. So we got Seattle, New York, Arizona, New York. It gets a little lighter. But with Dallas Goedert, he's a great receiving tight end, right? You guys have one in your own, Dalton Kincaid. I'm such a fan of that kid. Watched him out of Utah, scouted him. He was my number 1 tight end coming out of college football. In fact, he was my number 1 tight end that I scouted in the last 5 years coming out of college football. He's special. Like, he's different. So you're going to have him for the next 10 years. So Dallas Goedert, I would trade Dallas Goedert for Dalton Kincaid to start his career over right now. And I love Dallas, right? But that's exactly what I think you guys got in that Utah stud that you drafted in Dalton Kincaid.
Oh, man.
Nice.
I like it.
So you had him ahead of Pitts, huh?
Way ahead of Pitts.
Yeah.
I feel now Pitts is going to be good once he gets rid of Desmond, get rid of her. But when Atlanta makes a better decision at head coach and quarterback, I think Kyle Pitts will be a good tight end. But I have him way ahead of Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts was a Florida tight end that Kyle Trask was literally throwing jump balls to over 6-foot cornerbacks, and he was destroying them. In the NFL, it's different. Everyone's athletic. Everyone can jump with you. So I think Dalton Kincaid's route running is better. I think his hands are better overall. And I think his speed and agility is better than Kyle's.
Much respect.
I like it.
I respect it.
I want to ask you about like the NFC playoff race and just kind of see where your head's at. Like what are your thoughts as far as how the playoff race is shaking up over there? I know the AFC is like it's super tight over here, but the NFC is a little bit different over there. Just what are your thoughts about that?
I mean, I think it's super tight in the NFC. I just think it's a 4-dog race in the NFC, and the Philadelphia Eagles are kind of falling out of that. They're the third dog. You can't deny that San Francisco is 1 and Dallas is 2 after these past 2 weeks. But Philadelphia can get back in that. They have the talent to do that. They're going to get some injured players back. They're going to have Shaq Leonard in a lot more than they had him in this week, and they get gashed over the middle of the field. I think the biggest issue for the Eagles is their overall middle of the field. Their linebacking crew is terrible, and then their safeties are they leave more to be desired. But as far as the overall NFC playoff view, I like I like San Francisco. They're a very good football team. But I'll give you guys, and this is a nuts take. And if it happens, you can remember me. I want you guys to look at the Chicago Bears schedule down the stretch. And I think the Chicago Bears could win out and steal that 7th playoff spot. I really believe that. Look at who they're playing. The last 2 weeks, they beat Minnesota. They beat, not Minnesota, they beat Detroit. And this past week, they dominated Detroit. And then 2 weeks ago, they beat Minnesota. So I think Chicago can win out. I think you got to look out for the Los Angeles Rams. Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, Stafford looks healthy. That defense is a bunch of young, hungry players surrounding Aaron Donald. I think that it's really interesting. A team I think will completely continue to fall off will be the Seattle Seahawks. I made a bet 3 weeks ago when they were 6-3 that they wouldn't go over 9.5 wins. If they lose this week to Philadelphia, they cannot get to 10 wins, and I cashed that bet already. So I think that it's one of those things that you could look at is some teams are falling out. Minnesota with Joshua Dobbs, now Nick Mullins. You got a situation going on in Seattle with Geno Smith and Drew Lock, whereas a couple teams on the come up, and I think it's severely underrated quarterback in Justin Fields and Matthew Stafford.
I like it, man. I like it. I know Travis. He had a quick question just about like your podcast and stuff like that.
Yeah, what made the podcast come about? What inspired you?
So it's really funny you say that. My whole life I wanted to do sports podcasting and I never did it, right? And in 2019 I lost my father. My father was my best friend in my entire world. I have his urn here at my house, and it's a Philadelphia Eagles urn. It's like an urn, and it's got the Eagles logo. It's midnight green, and I've always wanted to get into sports broadcasting and journalism and podcasting. And after he passed away, it was one of those things where I'm just like, I'm done, like hoping and wishing and thinking something will come out. So I just started a podcast. And when I started, man, it was a lot tougher than it is now. Right. I've done it now for 3 years, wire to wire. And, you know, I've worked with Sports Empire Network, and I've been on a lot of different podcasts, and it becomes so much easier because I love it, right? You listen to people talk sports constantly. I have all 22. I watch every football game front to back. I have 2 TVs in my living room. One has Red Zone on and one has another game on. If the Eagles are on, I have the Eagles game on, but if not, it's a game I want to watch. I love sports. So why not talk about it? Why not share my knowledge? And you have a lot of these talking heads that get on TV that know half of what I know. So like, why not share my emotion and passion with, and it's worked out really, really well.
Love that.
Absolutely. That's
great. Absolutely love that.
That's great.
That's actually super sweet, man. That's super cool. A lot better of a story than the way we started it, for sure. But that's super awesome, dude. You definitely, you sound great, dude. Like the way you carry yourself is awesome, man. So definitely super glad to have you on here. John, I
got one more.
I know you definitely got something shaking.
Got one more. First off, sorry for your loss. I love that story, by the way. The urn, love it.
Thank you.
Love it, man. I need your thoughts on the brotherly shove, the tush push. Is it getting banned? What's going on?
Well, it's going to get banned because Roger Goodell wants to ban it, right?
Yep.
So, like, it's going to get banned, but it's not going to change the fact that the Philadelphia Eagles are still going to be the best sneak team in football. You have a quarterback that squats 600 pounds. You have the best center in football. You have one of the best offensive lines in football. It won't change, right? So, like, yeah, we won't be able to push from behind, but we'll be spreading our wide receivers out, and that'll spread the defenders out. So I don't think it changes much. It's funny, before they did the brotherly shove, the Philadelphia Eagles converted their quarterback sneaks at an 87% rate with Carson Wentz without that, right? And now Jalen Hurts has just stepped into that situation and had the brotherly shove where they're converting at like 94%, some ridiculous number. But it shouldn't be banned, right? Why should it be banned? And like, coming from an Eagles perspective, I'll give you my opinion. If you guys disagree, I'd love to hear it. But other teams have tried to run it, and they don't run it well. They don't have the best center in football. Mm-hmm. They don't have a quarterback that can squat 600 pounds. You guys remember when Patrick Mahomes tried to quarterback sneak, and then he popped his kneecap? He'll never quarterback sneak the rest of his career. teams like Buffalo with Josh Allen and other like Dak Prescott in Dallas, stronger quarterbacks can run that and they'll have the same success. It's not about a Philadelphia thing. It's just the personnel and what Jeff Stoutland, the Eagles offensive line coach, brings to it that allows it to be so successful. Ban it. We'll find another way to do it. It's not the end of the world.
It's not going to take away from you have Jalen Hurts there.
I was
like that
about to say,
mentality.
man, like the mentality behind. I mean, because that's all we've heard about the whole entire season is like, oh, you got to ban the tush push, you got to ban the tush push. Man, I'm glad you nailed it right on the head, Gene, when you were like, you know what, like the Eagles, they've got it down. They've got it down. You're right. They got the best center in football. They've got a quarterback that can squat 600 plus pounds. Come on, man. I mean, that alone is like no other teams really have that. So like, I can tell you from our perspective, yeah, we got a unicorn of a quarterback that does crazy stuff. Like I will tell you, I don't think it should be banned. I don't think it should be banned because you're right. Other teams have tried it, and yes, if every team could do it, they would do it. And I would say if every team could do it, maybe you got to look at some things. You got to ask some questions. But since you guys are one of the only teams that have that mastered down to a T, I don't see why you should get rid of it, man. I feel like that's your guys' thing. Like that's you guys are one of the only teams I've ever heard of that really it's like when you guys start the game, it's 1st and 9 because that final yard is like the easiest thing for you guys. So that's your thing. I don't think that should be banned, but we all know Roger Goodell, like he said at the end of the table, this is the no fun league. So we've got a feeling that it's probably going to happen, but I can't agree anymore. I think it shouldn't be banned. I think you know what I would say to the rest of the 31 other NFL teams? Just get better.
And that's what we say to everybody, right? Get better. It's a copycat league, and if somebody could copycat it and do it the way the Philadelphia Eagles could do it, they would do it. I just want them to ban Patrick Mahomes from running the 2-minute drill or ban Josh Allen from scrambling. Like I want them to ban different teams from doing what they're good at. It's just kind of funny that we got really good at something. They're like, we can't have that. They're too good at it.
Right. Now, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but if you were to ban it, you would have to ban players pushing a pile then.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's no other way to ban
you can't,
the brotherly shove.
Say you quite literally can't ban the brotherly shove without banning motion wide receiver. Like the Bills, Dave Davis does. He gets behind Allen all the time.
Right, but you look at Allen's angry touchdown run. That would
pushing
have been erased. Correct, right?
Yeah.
If you were to ban the tush push, that would be gone.
Well, I don't. So you're talking about the one where he rolled out to the right, or like?
Yeah, he gets stuck in that big ass.
He got stood up and then.
I guess, and that's why I don't. It's gonna suck because if they ban it, because I know all of a sudden you got even more question marks, and it feels like that's all the NFL is nowadays. Is just like rule question marks. You got question marks on, was he offsides or was he not offsides? Now you're gonna have, was that a tush push or was that not a tush push? Yeah. Don't add that. Don't add that to the mix. The NFL already has enough problems going on. Like, there's some things that I would like to address, and the tush push is not one of them.
I think we're all in agreement. Let's just keep it going.
The one thing I will float around for a rule, and I got to get everybody's opinion here because I didn't think about this, and this is why I'm glad that we're bringing this up. Forget the tush push. I don't think that should be banned. But the one thing that I will say this NFL season that has absolutely driven me up a wall, and it's kind of something we've noticed in years past, stop rewarding quarterbacks that underthrow footballs. And you get a pass interference call because you blatantly underthrow a football. Mm-hmm. Like I want that, something like that needs to be an address. Like if the pass interferences have been crazy, but if it's in, like this season, I've seen underthrown footballs. Like for instance, I will look back to Denver.
Overthrown footballs.
I will look back to the Bills and Denver Broncos game. Teron Johnson got stuck in the absolute worst position he could have been in. We zero blitzed, and Russell Wilson blatantly underthrew a football. And I don't remember if it was Marvin Mims. I don't know which receiver it was, but had no chance of getting the ball. Jerry Jeudy, no chance of getting the ball. And I'm just pointing this situation out because it's something that's pissed me off all year for all of these other teams too. But like stuff like that needs to be addressed, not the tush push, man. Just get better.
I mean, you're rewarding bad quarterback play when you do that. When a quarterback, and some teams are now strategizing underthrowing the football when they're in a tough situation to have a receiver run through the defender to draw that penalty. They even mentioned it. It's funny. They mentioned on the Sunday Night Football broadcast when Dak Prescott kind of underthrew a ball to Brandon Cooks. And they said all he had to do is run through the defender back towards the ball, and he would have got the penalty call. But he was so focused on catching the football. I'm like, isn't that what we're playing the game to do, is catch the football, not try to draw a penalty? I don't know. I agree with you.
Absolutely. Just one more thing. Before we let you go here, Gene. I just have to ask, man, what's the Super Bowl prediction for you over there?
I mean, you want my Eagles prediction or do you want my real prediction?
Both.
Give us both.
We'll take both.
So I predicted before the season because I wanted the rematch of Philadelphia versus Kansas City. Like I wanted to run that back. I wanted to run that back on a normal playing surface and not on that ice skating ring they played in last year. But I don't think that's going to happen, right? So it's I think it's Ravens 49ers. I really do. I think that the Ravens have added two pieces to their defense that 100% changed the dynamic of the way they play football, and that's Roquan Smith and Kyle Hamilton. Those guys are the best at their position in football. You can miss me with Fred Warner. You can miss me with any type of safety. I'll take Kyle Hamilton and Roquan Smith over anyone. Like those guys are just difference makers. And, you know, you hold all the things about Lamar Jackson. I'm not a huge Lamar guy, but you give him 4 first-round wide receivers. He has his number 1 through number 4 on his depth chart are all first-rounders. I want you to think about that for a minute. I think that as a whole, the Ravens are equipped to go through the AFC, especially with a lot of the quarterback injuries. And the 49ers, unless Kyle Shanahan screws it up, which he's been known to do, the 49ers are the best team in the NFL, if I'm being honest.
Absolutely. I like it.
Pretty sure we all had the same.
I think that's all of our Super Bowl predictions over here too. I think the NFL has like the little like you look at the Super Bowl logo and it just looks like the colors kind of match up a little bit.
Yeah, they did it last year with the green and red, with the Eagles and Chiefs. This year it's purple and red. Yeah, like come on. I hope it's not that scripted that like where they're gonna have. But hey, listen, you know who else team wears red? Now they don't wear purple, but the Buffalo Bills, and they're back in the playoff hunt. So you guys can look at that red as a different way.
AFC is wide open.
You guys look better each week. That move at offensive coordinator, bringing Joe Brady in over Ken Dorsey, looks like it's playing, to your favor. That offense looks a million times better.
I love that, dude.
Can I ask you guys a question though?
Absolutely.
What's that?
How do you guys feel about McDermott making the terroristic comments that he made? And like, listen, I just want to know because from an outsider's perspective, when him comparing like coming together as a team, like the terrorists on 9/11, we used that as our "you got to be kidding me" for the week because we thought it was hilarious. What are your thoughts on that? Like, did you guys?
Well, first off, I mean, I was just like, I'm scrolling on Twitter and that story pops up and I'm like, wow, okay, all right, here we go. That's a way to end the night. Not expecting it. I think he could have probably used a couple of different analogies that would have been a lot better than the one he used.
A couple.
I will say, from what I know, and you know what, in the last couple of weeks, I've bashed McDermott. But you know what? I will sit back here and say, like, the guy is like, it's an absurd comment to make. It sucks that it was made in 2019. It's resurfaced here going into 2024. I feel bad for the guy. The guy's character. I've met him a couple of times. I don't know if all three of us have, but guys, he's a great guy. I think he just made a poor analogy, and I think it just came back to bite him in the ass. But he's a great guy, so I don't know. It's a tough situation. It's a tough situation.
I know he's a great guy. He used to be our defensive coordinator. Sean McDermott came from the Philadelphia Andy Reid coaching tree. A lot of people don't know that, but Sean McDermott was our defensive coordinator in Philadelphia. I like Sean McDermott. I bring it up because it's easy how things can get, like the misconception can come across when you're not in the town of the person. Right. And I wanted to use that as kind of like a full circle moment because of your comments on the podcast about Philadelphia and not knowing. And listen, man, are there a lot of belligerent, drunk idiots that go to Philadelphia Eagles games and do things that like most Philadelphia Eagles fans completely look at as like, this is not okay? Yeah, there is. There's drunk idiots everywhere, though. Like, you can Google Bills fan fights, and you can see a bunch of drunk idiots fighting. But that doesn't change the fact that you have, in my opinion, the best football fan base in the country. And I believe that. That's not like me kissing up because I'm on your podcast. I do a show called Cheap Seats on Monday night, and we talked about the best fan bases in the country. And Bills Mafia is always at the top of my list. I love what they've done for charities. I love what they do. Like, I remember you guys had like a ton of snow and a bunch of fans like voluntarily shoveled outside the stadium like 3 years ago. Like, I love your fan base. So when I heard you say that about Philadelphia, I wanted you to meet somebody from Philadelphia that's been a diehard fan their whole life. And it's just, I think the problem is Buffalo and Philadelphia, we care about football too much, right? Like, would you rather have a fan base like Buffalo or Philadelphia, or would you rather have a fan base like Jacksonville? Like, they don't care, right? They don't show up. We take pride. Like, when you come to our stadium and dress up our Rocky statue and taunt our fans, it's like coming into your house and taunting you. And we're a blue-collar city. We're not a white-collar city. We're a blue-collar city. And when you do that, we're going to respond with a little emotion. And does it go too far at times? Of course it does. And you guys mentioned Big Dom DeSandro. Big Dom is one of the greatest human beings ever. He's the head of security. He's the head of he's actually the person the Philadelphia Eagles send out to do like evaluations on players like Jalen Carter. Like, he did that evaluation to see if he would be a good fit for the organization. He's a guy that is the head of security for guys like Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts was at the 76ers game the other night. Sitting right behind him was Big Dom. He's not just the head of security. He's not just a guy that's on the sidelines. He's been with the team for 25 years. You heard the announcers on that game talking about how he gave them Italian restaurant to go to and let them know where to go in the city. He is like the mayor, right? When you hear the mayor comment, that's who Big Dom is. And then the last thing I wanted to mention, you guys mentioned about Shaq Lawson going out an Eagles fan in the crowd, in the stands. I'm telling you, I know people that were at the game. I know security guards that work for the team. No one threatened that man's life. They were taunting, and when the Bills were winning that football game, the Bills players were giving it to the Eagles fans. Rightfully so. What happened was when the Eagles started coming back in the game and the Eagles fans started giving it back to them, they didn't like that. And they went over there to address it. And if you notice, the fan puts his hands up. He's like, I'm not trying to put my hands on you. And, I'm glad they didn't suspend Shaq Lawson for putting his hands on him. It's all fair and fun, and he's going to get a fine just like Big Dom got a fine and everything that happened in that situation. But emotions sometimes run wild. And I'll say this. I'm sure that Buffalo Bills fans have had their emotions run a little wild at times, just like Philadelphia Eagles fans have. And we can all agree in this, right? Can I curse on this show?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, we can all agree on fuck the Patriots, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'll give him that one. I like it. Yeah, listen, Big Dom. Big Dom. Wow.
Big Dom. I love Big Dom.
We're
I'll
gonna
take
talk
it.
about Big Dom.
I love Big Dom.
I guess it was much needed.
Yes.
Gene, I'm happy you came on, man. I'm happy we got a little bit of a taste of Philadelphia. And dude, I mean, it's just great to get your side of things, the Eagles side of things, your guys' perspective, and kind of get your viewpoint over there on what NFL life's over there. So I like it. I appreciate you coming on tonight, and hopefully we whoop some Cowboys' ass for you this week.
Oh, please do. And thank you guys so much for having me on here. I always look forward to talking to guys that love sports, and I appreciate how much. The first thing I did after I seen that video is view your page and look at other videos. And you guys are fans of the Buffalo Bills. Like, that's what the sport needs. They need real fans that care about their teams. Just like I'm a fan of the Philadelphia Eagles. So I respect you guys, have all the respect in the world for Bills Mafia. And I appreciate you guys for letting me explain my side of the story on the show. And I wish you guys continued success. I'm sure you'll have it.
Thank you.
Hey, I
You as
appreciate
well.
it.
Thank you.
It's coming vice versa. Same thing's coming over here. We'll hit him with a little. The fly, Eagles fly.
Yes,
Wire
sir.
Sports. Check them out. We'll make sure we
Yes,
plug
sir.
it. We'll plug it in all of our socials. So I appreciate you being on. And I'm gonna say go Bills, but hopefully we help you out this week.
I'll say go Bills. You don't have to say go Eagles. That's fine.
Fly
Go
Eagles,
Bills.
Fly,
man.
Eagles,
Fly,
fly.
Eagles, fly, man. How
Although
about that?
Shout might be the worst fight song of all time. You can kick me off the show after that, but that might be the worst fight
I
song.
got
of all
that
time.
being one of the better ones. It's kind of crazy. My girlfriend loves the Fly Eagles Fly song.
All right,
brother.
guys. Thank you so
Whenever
much.
you're in town,
Thank you.
hit us up.
Take care.
How about that?
What a
guys?
guest.
What a guest!
What a
Excited.
guest.
That was so awesome to have him on, man. It was awesome to get
Yeah.
Philadelphia's perspective. Super happy to have him on. Down to earth guy.
Yeah.
Super down to earth guy.
I was a little scared at first.
I was gonna say. But
Just like most guys from Philly are, if you knew that. But
I was gonna say, yeah. You know, one of us at the table, we didn't really know that. We were humbled today a little bit.
We thought he was gonna come on the show, come after Chris's head.
Hey man,
Hey, he's
as he should have.
I'm alive. That was a great dude.
Yeah, it was.
Super awesome sports perspective.
Yeah.
Awesome sports perspective.
Chris, I got a question. Does that change your kind of perspective on some of the Eagles fans now? Yeah, I mean, you did all the talking last week. Now that you met Gene, what's your perspective now?
Big Gene guy, first off, okay? Big Gene guy.
Are you a big Dom guy now too?
Can we get it? You're a big Dom guy, please.
Clearly,
I mean,
my
he-
mind's changed a little bit on Big Dom,
You
right?
thought you had Big Dom on the
I was
show.
about to say, clearly the mind changed a little bit on Big Dom. Okay, so I have a tendency to overreact. I got a little heated last week.
You don't say.
You know,
Things have changed a little bit here.
I respect it though.
Philadelphia Eagles fans.
he made a good point though. We're not from Philly. We don't know Philly fans. All we know is Buffalo fans.
Absolutely. We
We have a sample size of the Philadelphia fans on TV.
Right.
And we see what we see.
I was saying, I see exactly where he's coming from. Like, you cannot judge. It's like you can't judge a book by its cover. Like, the cover is what we see, and we've seen snowballs get thrown at people. We've seen the Big Dom thing. We've seen the altercation between Shaq Lawson and Jordan Phillips and the fan. We see all that stuff, right? But what you don't see is what goes on in an Eagles fan's day-to-day life and how they treat each other. And, you know, he is 100% right when he says that, you know, I mean, if you look at another franchise as far as how their fans get down, there's only like maybe one other team I can think of besides the Eagles that I would say like, well, that team's a lot like the Bills fans, and that's like the Cleveland Browns fans. Yeah. I mean, they've endured a lot of pain, and then they've stick by the Browns a lot. So no, I'll say to answer Chang's question, the long-winded answer is yeah, okay. My mind's changed. Philadelphia Eagles fans.
Finally.
Hey, I'll tell you what. He changed. He came in here. He laid down the law.
He spit facts.
And he knew what he was talking about. He brought up a story from 1968.
I can't believe you guys didn't know that story.
Bro.
We're two young and dumb guys.
Dude, I'm like 2 years older than you.
I just like to talk sometimes.
I get you. Hey, I tried to tell you. I'm glad he opened your eyes, man. I love Philly fans. I'm just sticking to that.
That was actually super badass.
Are we gonna go to a game now?
No.
You might be safe if you
I might be
ask
safe
Gene
now.
to go with you. You know.
I might just
He'll
go.
be our Big Dom.
I might just text. I was
Or
gonna
just
say,
text Big Dom. He'll meet you at the airport.
hopefully Big Dom doesn't see my TikTok.
Hope he does.
All right. That was awesome. That was awesome.
was great.
You know what else is awesome? Something we got to touch on real quick because we weren't able to get into it. Is we set a stipulation last week, right?
Oh, I thought we were getting the W.
We set a stipulation last week. We said the loser at the table had to go a quarter with no shirt. A lot of guys here, and that being me, thought I was gonna be that guy that wasn't gonna. That I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to go without the shirt. Travis Keene coming in hot with an 8-7 week, getting me and John right back into the mix of things. Drops a ball this week, and he's got to go without no shirt. 1/4 of the Dallas game.
It's for a good cause.
No shirt.
It's for a good cause.
Wow.
It's for the pod. I'm gonna have
love
BillsAholic right across my chest. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Maybe BillsAholic or sideways or whatever, diagonal. We'll figure it out. It's for a good cause though. At least it's not suicide wings. It's for the podcast. I'm promoting.
I'd rather do the wings if I had to choose.
Yeah, me
It's
too.
1/4, and they said,
Bro, I was pumping gas tonight, right? I had a jacket
Pumping that
on.
gas.
I had a jacket on. Now, unfortunately,
How do you
having the
pu-
big
how-
rig, it's not like that little 8-gallon tank I had. Damn near empty, sitting there. I'm like, damn, this is cold. I'm just happy I'm the one that doesn't have to have my shirt off.
the
on
weather
Sunday.
on Sunday.
Can I throw a little bit of
It
knowledge
might,
at you,
it's
man?
gonna change. What?
You can use the
The
gas, cap.
The gas cap.
Yeah, man.
No. The gas cap. That is like so being in the car business. That is like that's a big trick. That's a big trick. I know about it.
Yeah.
I tried to do it twice tonight.
Oh Jesus.
And the gas cap just kept falling out. The pump kept
Gotcha.
stopping. So I was like, I just stood out there. I know
You
about
endured
that.
it.
I know about that.
Yeah.
I like that. For those of you that don't know, just
Yes,
slide
sir.
the gas cap in between the thing, man.
I like to say to McKenna, I got lazy figured out. So
I like it. What's the weather look like, Travis?
It's only Tuesday, so it's gonna change. Low of 39, high of 49.
This guy's getting out with a slap on the wrist.
dude, you might get a tan.
I might. Way up there though, it's gonna be windy. The wind's gonna kill me.
It will be windy.
The wind will kill me, but other than that, I think I'll survive.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we said, to kick us off, big Bills win this week, man. I mean, big. I mean, it was Victory Monday this
I don't know
week
how
after
to
we
do
beat
it.
the Chiefs. He's eating nuggets. It was Victory Monday.
Jameis, I don't know how to do it.
Victory Monday after we beat the Chiefs, right? And then it was Victory Tuesday after the Dolphins dropped a big dud on Monday Night Football. And it was just like I came into work today. I was like, wow, I haven't felt this way the whole season. I'm as bought back in as I could be right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm locked back.
It's a week to week.
It is a week to week league.
It's a week to week league, Chris.
It's a week to week Chris. There will be a fan base that I want to piss off today. It's the Kansas City Chiefs. They fucking suck.
Yeah,
Here
fuck
we
the
go.
Chiefs.
Next video.
Fuck the Chiefs.
Here we
Fuck
go.
Mahomes.
It's the Chiefs. And
Can't
I'm not
stand
getting a
them.
Chiefs fan on here. You can't say nothing. The way Mahomes cried after that game,
Yeah.
He was complaining.
that's
he was
just-
complaining to Josh.
I know, dude.
That's just the most like.
And Josh was like,
"There's like in golf, man. When you're putting, everybody's nice and quiet. It's kind of just like a known thing, when the game's over, the two quarterbacks, dude, stay healthy, have a good season.
It caught Josh by
And you're
surprise.
oh my god, dude, I get so mad.
Josh just was like,
Hey, he's like,
He was
yeah,
like,
yeah, go
do
cry
you
to
have the
your
video?
fucking-
No.
go cry me.
go cry to Brittany.
Exactly.
And then
But
Brittany puts on Instagram.
Yeah, she's a clown.
MVP.
She's
Zooms on
such
the ref.
she's
such a clown.
She is a clown.
The
Man.
only guy I gained respect for after that was Kelsey, because Kelsey's known to be emotional. He shared a moment
Allen.
with Kincaid.
And Kincaid.
Jersey Swamp.
And I'm like,
You know why?
usually he's the guy that's like,
Because he knows he's
emotional.
going home with Taylor Swift.
I mean, that might be it, but I'm just saying,
I'd be in a good mood.
right? I'm just saying that's
I'm glad
usually
you
a guy.
mentioned it. That's what I was gonna mention.
Yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned it. I saw the video between him and Allen talking,
Mm-hmm.
and Josh walked up to me and was like, "Wow, that's like one of the best plays I've ever seen." Talking about the lateral play.
Yeah.
And then and it was all love from Kelsey. Like it was all love from Kelsey, and that's just like to me that right there is exactly how it should be from the quarterback. You're 100% right.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way Mahomes and I will say I'm not the biggest Patrick Mahomes fan.
Nope.
I'm not gonna sit here and say that I am, obviously, right? But understandably, like he was hot. He was hot about the loss. I mean, we spent how many years watching Tom Brady run off the field like a little baby before he could get to the quarterback because of a loss. It just, you're right. It was a sour taste, and then not to mention like in the press conference they just went off about the refs. Like my boy said it, Gene said it. They got one of the best calls in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like you don't get a bigger game than that.
No. It's a terrible call.
And I'll say, and so you've gotten those calls. Like you've gotten those calls in your career, Pat. The one time you don't get it, you cry about it, and then you go in the press conference. He cries about it in the press conference. So
And then Andy Reid, dude, I'm about to get hot again. He not only did he say he was only offsides by like an inch, the dude's almost 3 yards offsides. Then today, Tuesday, he doubles down on saying that the NFL refs got it wrong and they were cheated, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, you're way too good of a coach. You've been in the NFL way too long. I mean, what are we looking at? You know what I mean? At least Mahomes came on. He apologized, fine.
Mm-hmm.
You're still a bitch, but whatever. For Andy Reid to do that, that's just, I don't know, dude. It makes me so mad.
I got a story about that. So, yesterday, we're going to PetSmart, Jackie and I, to get the dog groomed. Come back in. We forgot the leash in the car. Come back in. This older gentleman is in line. We're talking about the game. And he goes, you know what makes me the most mad is that guy, that's their Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee for the Chiefs.
Patrick Mahomes.
He's like, and that's what they showcase right there. I'm like, yeah, I didn't think about that.
hey man,
That's wise wisdom from that guy.
I was gonna say that's a
Didn't even think of that either.
That's an
I
interesting
didn't.
way to look at it. I will say, to John's point, like Andy Reid is obviously one of the best offensive masterminds that the league's pretty much ever seen. He's like obviously one of the best head coaches that's virtually ever done it. I'll give him props I'll give him credit where credit's due. It is just annoying to hear him come up on the media and just say the things he said about that call.
Take the Alex.
And then I've seen Chiefs fans say that Kadarius Toney, like he pointed to the referee. He also he looked for a second, did a point, and then looked away. We're always taught in football. You plant your foot, you look, you point, right.
You wait till the ref says okay.
I was about to say you get the thumbs up from the linesman, the lines judge, and it's just like
the ref. They don't have to do anything about like.
I was gonna say, here's my thing. You're a professional NFL wide receiver.
Yeah.
You should know where the line of scrimmage is.
By the way, you're damn near lined up as a tight end. The ball's 6 feet away from you.
You're damn near the 12th man of the Bills.
I mean,
so
jeez.
I was gonna say you quite literally are you are standing right next to Von Miller.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you might actually be closer to being behind Von Miller. Speaking of Von Miller,
Still washed.
okay, I will say still watch. There's two things I noticed. Okay, a little bit more pressure coming off the edge. It felt like he was able to kind of cut the edge a little bit more. I'm not gonna go where you guys think I'm going. Number 2, first game without the brace. First game without the brace.
I didn't notice
this past
that.
week. First game without the brace, and it was his best game that he's had all season. I'm starting to like if you had to ask me, that's the up arrow of him making a little bit of progress. That should be refreshing to see as a Bills fan, because if he can continue that progress to getting back to hopefully what he was before the ACL injury, that'll be huge, especially if we can get that.
It's a good time for
I
it.
was gonna say, especially we can get that right about now. Like,
So I'm with you on that. But I was like, when he was on the field, I was kind of I was just making it known to myself to watch him. Dude, he does not have that same bend around the corner anymore. And that's what he made his career out of. So if he doesn't have that, you know what I mean? What is
no,
he?
I completely agreed.
You know, yeah.
So it doesn't look like what it was
Right,
before the ACL
right.
injury, but it just seemed like he put in. I'm not gonna say a little bit more effort, but it just noticeably looked a little bit better to me.
Yeah,
and then,
yeah,
and
for
then, like,
sure.
It's the first game without the brace.
Yeah.
and that's a big step. Like, that's a big step in itself right there. So I wanted to point that out because it's something that was one of my big things about taking from that game. And again, like we said it when Gene was on the podcast, one of the biggest things was the defense finally getting a game-winning stop. The offense has gotten them in that position so many times this season where the defense just didn't come through. So it was a little bit more refreshing to see that happen. But yeah.
By the way, on the defense really quick, I just want to point out that on that the Kelsey lateral, we quite literally sent the house. There was 1 or 2, I don't know. We blitzed too many. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but
Steve,
that's
what's his face was talking about that this morning. Chris Brown. Chris Brown was talking about that this morning.
Oh, was he? I just watched it on the
Maybe it was
All 22.
yesterday. I'm
Yeah.
not sure. He was
But
talking about that.
if you watch it, whoever was supposed to be on Kelsey
Blitzed.
just blitzed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. How do you guys feel about the zero blitzes from McDermott?
So, zero blitz, like I don't mind it in that situation. I really don't. It does suck when you zero blitz, and even sending somebody, even sending an assignment that wasn't supposed to blitz,
Yeah.
and you still don't get pressure on the quarterback.
Well, the ball was out.
Super
dumb
fast,
quick, yeah.
super fast. But the ball should have been out dumb quick when the
Yeah.
guy that's on one of the best tight ends to ever play the game of football, you're blitzing, and I don't know. I remember Brownie said it yesterday. He was like, he didn't see whose assignment it was, but whoever
Yeah.
it was.
It
Got
was
their ass lit up on the sidelines that next play. Like, he got pulled. I don't know who it was, but got pulled off the field and he got his ass lit up because he blitzed when he was not supposed to, which ended up being quite a big deal.
What do we got here?
What's Tank doing?
Oh wow, CR Media. As a Chiefs fan, this is hands down the best episode this show's ever done. Gene is the best part.
Oh, come on, give him their fun.
Gene
Love
was,
Gene, man.
I would say Gene was he is on now. We've had a couple of guests on the podcast. Gene has solidified the first spot for multiple reasons. Super great guy to have him on here and had great insights. So you know what, CR Media, we're gonna agree with you. Gene was the best part.
Yeah.
Gene was the best part.
Appreciate that.
But no, yeah. So I mean, the zero blitz is like, I don't mind it. I'm glad they were. I like that they were doing it a little bit closer to midfield rather than 10 yards out of the end zone against the Philadelphia Eagles. Like, I hated the zero blitz and then. So I don't know. One thing I noticed, I don't know if you guys heard McDermott talk about this, was he touched on how he spent a lot of this week watching like the last like 2 minutes of every game this past season, where like the Bills they dropped the ball, and kind of trying to figure out what he should do better in that situation. I thought the time management was a little question mark. There was a question mark on the offensive side of things where I know me and you had.
We'll get into it.
I want to say where me and you had a different standpoint, but I thought on the defensive side of things, I thought that was the best fourth quarter the defense has had.
Oh yeah,
like the best fourth quarter the defense has had by far.
There's one guy on that defensive side I want to praise. It's Ed Oliver. He's deserving every penny of that contract so far.
And making that contract look generous.
Yes.
Making that
compared to other
D
tackles that still have to get paid. Yeah, you gotta put your hats off to him.
What's he at? 6.5 now?
I think 6.5 sacks.
And a lot of pressures.
I was like, didn't him and Greg Rousseau get in on one this past week?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it was him and Greg that got in on one.
Yeah, he's been on a tear.
Hey, while we're shooting about defense, I just want to props to Empanada. That's my boy Empanada.
I got an interesting stat about that.
Shoot.
So he's a defensive lineman. He's an edge. Sauce is a corner.
Oh, they got the same amount of interceptions.
They have the same amount of interceptions in their career. 2.
AJ Epineza is a lockdown corner. That's what I'm getting at here.
Dude,
that's what I'm hearing.
He's minus Floyd. I think he's been our best edge rusher.
100%.
What are we doing, man? He's gonna be a free agent, isn't he?
So now you just said
you think he's gone, right?
I think there's gonna be.
I don't know how him.
I think there's gonna be a team kind of like how Chicago grabbed Edmonds. There's gonna be a team that's gonna overpay.
Now, here's my thought process on that: is the Bills are already starting off horrible in cap.
Oh yeah,
horrible in cap this next season. And AJ, he's in his contract here, and he is showing why. Like he's showing why he should get some money.
Exactly.
It sucks that your best 2 pass rushers are both guys that need to be paid at the end of the season.
whole D line minus Ed
Oliver and Greg Rousseau and Von Miller. Those are like the only 3 guys that don't need a new contract come the end of the season. It sucks that your best 2 defensive linemen are the guys that you need to address. I would be pissed off if we don't sign at least maybe one of them. I think you have to find a way to get one of those guys back. Right now, obviously, Leonard Floyd has been the most consistent pass rusher out of all of them. Like AJ has his games where he goes off, and then he also has his times where you don't see him for a week or 2.
Right.
But Leonard Floyd has been consistently. He's been their guy, and I mean that shows on the stats list. He's at 9.5. He's about to hit 10 sacks. That shows. That shows when you have a guy that's consistently getting pressure. And I will say, I don't know. I think you got to bring one of those 2 guys back. Like one of those 2 guys. I don't know if there's a way you get both of them back, but
no.
I think you got to find a way to get at least one of them back.
It's going to be probably easier to get Floyd back just because he's a little bit older.
Yeah.
You can
1 2 year deal.
Yeah, 1 to 2 year deal. I don't see a way where. Yeah, no, I just don't see a way.
Yeah,
There's just no way.
It's tough. So that's going to be an interesting thing this offseason. That's why I'm excited for this offseason. I'm excited to get into all that. I want to touch on. So I thought Joe Brady called another pretty solid game. I thought the first half was phenomenal. Now my one thing that I will point out, and he's a younger signal caller. I mean he's new to the Bills as far as calling an offense. He had a really good first 2 weeks. And he had a really good first half, in my opinion. Steve Spagnuolo, on the other hand, on the defensive side of things for the Chiefs, I'm going to give him credit where credit's due. I think they made phenomenal adjustments at halftime as far as what that offense was able to do to them in the first half. And I think it just kind of sucked that Joe Brady wasn't able to adjust back and try to get back at them. I mean, our offense completely shut down in the second half. The one thing I wanted to point out to you guys, and I wanted to point it out because me and you kind of the reason we didn't get into too much of it was because we needed to settle this here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in the last 2 minutes of the game in that drive where they get blessed with the illegal contact and they get 3 more downs. You don't run the ball once. And John, you thought that was solid on them to not run the ball there, right?
Yeah. So, like you just said, Joe Brady got out-coached. He got outclassed. Look at it the other way. McDermott kind of outclassed Andy Reid. Cool. I'll take that split. Fine. The screen to Diggs, I know everybody – I'm already hearing it from Bills fans. Oh, it's just like the draw. The play sucks. Okay, well, it's not going to suck when against the Cowboys they run a wrinkle off of it and we score a touchdown. That's your run play there. Diggs drops it. Even if you get 2-3 yards, okay, cool. The clock's moving. You can't run on 2nd and 10 against that defense. You put yourself so say this is the way I was looking at it at that time. The play call was in. It was going to be that screen. He catches it. He gets 3 yards. Cool. Clock's moving. I don't know. Maybe Andy Reid uses a timeout there. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he goes a 2-minute warning. Whatever. Now the playbook's open because you got 2nd and what, 7 or 6. Since he dropped that, you run the ball, you get behind the sticks. They're getting the ball back with what, 1:50. So to me, I mean, yeah, you could have ran the ball, you could have taken their timeouts, but that initial play call set the tone there. So I get what you're saying. You want that clock to run, but that screen is your run play.
Now.
I'm just looking back and forth.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with that at all. Like I don't disagree with because once you're in 2nd and 10, I agree. You cannot run the ball again because you're going to find yourself in at the best you'll probably find yourself in the 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 9, and then at the worst you're going to find yourself behind the sticks. Like, and I will say, it that made sense on 2nd and 3rd down passing the football. It made sense. I just wanted them because so what you have to look back on is. Allen gets sacked, right? There's an illegal contact. If that illegal contact doesn't happen, the clock probably runs down to the 2-minute warning. They kick the field goal, right? Illegal contact happens. There's 2 minutes, 13 seconds left on the clock. And the Bills run 3 plays, and the 2-minute warning doesn't even hit. It's like I just wanted them to run the ball on 1st down, get down to that 2-minute warning. Because my thought process in my head was, okay, the Chiefs' offense doesn't even need to see the field again if you play this correctly, right?
Exactly.
And that's where my head was at. That's why I said what I said.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, I just wish they would have been able to run the clock down to the 2-minute warning, get a 1st down because the Chiefs had, 1 timeout in that situation? There was no way if you get that next 1st down that the Chiefs are able to really get the ball back within any crazy amount of time, right? I just, as a
100%.
Bills fan, I think we can all agree leaving any time on the field for Patrick Mahomes is a scary sign.
Agreed.
Right, 100%.
And as little as 13 seconds is a scary sign.
So I 100%, I agree with you. My only issue is, say they play for that 1st down, they don't get it. We're sitting here calling McDermott conservative, and we're bitching about that. He tries to go aggressive, we're still bitching about it. It's kind of like what Gene said with the Eagles fans. They're never happy. They could be 15-0, they're not happy. So I do agree with you, but I can't get it. If the screen's caught, and that's your run play.
Right. We're not
playbook's
talking about
open.
if it's caught.
I have the bigger issue with execution in the whole game.
Oh yeah, I'm with you.
I mean, Allen looked terrible. I'm going to be honest with you. He looked terrible. His reads were, I mean, he still had a hell of a game. That's what's great about Josh Allen. The pick was terrible. Whatever, fine. We'll live with it. The execution was just terrible. Just terrible. I mean, there were receivers running open. On the contrary, there were receivers getting locked up every single play. I mean, I didn't see separation from Diggs, Davis. When Shakir was on the field, there was nothing there. I mean, Dalton Kincaid had 11 targets, 8 catches, and under like 40 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about what, under 2.3 yards a target? I mean, a reception, actually. Like, I don't know, man. The execution looked terrible. I liked Brady's. I mean, shit, he schemed open that wheel route, came back to that.
Oh, yeah.
Schemed open the seam route. I mean,
I will
it's
say
give and take right now.
I will say I thought the same. Like, it was just I was absolutely beside myself that going into the second half, the receivers, not a single receiver on the team made a single factor in the game, and it really irritates me because Stephon Diggs rarely ever makes an impact in a game against the Chiefs, which just absolutely irritates me. I know at one point during the game, Allen missed Davis right up the seam again, which there's something I want to touch on that because I saw something on Twitter this morning that I'm a little bit curious about, and I want to get your guys' opinion on. But I will say throughout the game, not that I'm upset for seeing as much production as we've seen from James Cook. Obviously, that's great to see from a second-year running back that, I mean, he's really looking great. I mean, he averaged like 5.6 yards per carry, and he was super effective in the pass game, right? But it's like you didn't get anything from your receivers, and you're 100% right about that. Like Diggs, silent. Davis didn't even have a catch. Like,
Can't even recover a fumble.
like, and then Khalil Shakir, he didn't show up either. Like,
You can
Deontay Hardy had like our longest reception. Deontay Hardy.
Dude, I hate cursing on here, but 3 snaps, dude.
You're allowed.
3 snaps for a guy like Deontay Hardy. He's your fastest guy. Well, maybe Cook, fine. But, I mean, just 3 snaps? That's terrible.
That's what we brought him here for, and we're not using him.
Right.
With the emergence, I get it, the emergence of Shakir. Dawson Knox is back, guys. He played the second lowest amount of snaps in his career. But the snaps he took away were from Shakir. Shakir played just under or just above 60%. He's been at 80% the past 3-4 weeks. So you're going to lose your slot receiver there with targets, with just playing time in general. For what? 3 yards a target?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
To your so about Cook, the one thing I'm gonna say about Cook that I think right now, and I don't know, like Diggs is obviously he's like 40 yards away from becoming, I believe, the longest in Bills franchise history for a receiver, the most consecutive 1,000-yard seasons in a row.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously the production has been there for Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
He's had games where he's looked phenomenal. The last couple of weeks, I mean, he has been
dropping balls he shouldn't.
Drops, but I wasn't even touching. I'm gonna say he's been not as much of a factor as he's been in.
Can't get open.
And I understand that's a defensive scheme. That's a guy you focus on, right? That's a guy that when you're going into the week, you're like, okay, we got to slow Stephon Diggs down. That's Josh's guy. I will say at this point, where we stand at this point in the NFL season for the Bills, I think your best playmaker on the field, besides your quarterback, is James Cook.
Yep.
I think James Cook is single-handedly. Obviously, he's giving you crazy yards per carry. He now is showing that he's super effective in the pass game. I will tell you that I think he's going to be better than his brother. I really do. If they use him correctly, he is the best playmaker on the field.
Yeah.
He is by far the best playmaker on the field. I need your thoughts on that.
Yeah.
I need your thoughts.
I'm with you. I know you listen to 550. I've been banging the table with Brownie. He needs 20 to 25 touches. The guy had 15 touches.
They shied away from him.
And then where does he go?
Did the Bills not listen to this podcast?
It's just
4.8 yards a carry,
28
28 yards,
literally
28th in rushes.
I don't
rush
get
defense.
it. Literally, my second talking
And they
point.
shy away from him.
Cook equals most dynamic player.
He is, man.
I don't understand why. And then Joe Brady. I don't know if you guys heard Monday. He does his interviews with the media.
Mm-hmm.
He said it last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever. That it's not really a concern. We couldn't get going, so we never substituted him back in. Bullshit.
You got to find a way to get him on the field.
It just doesn't make sense.
Right.
Like if he's on the field for that Murray catch, by the way, craziest throw I've seen all year. That was a crazy play by Allen.
Back against the wall.
That's a touchdown.
I would say
Literal
if
back
James Cook
against
gets
the
the ball,
wall.
I'm glad you said it. He's gone.
That's a touchdown.
He's gone.
Why? Can we do without Murray's? What's he get? About 15 to 17 snaps a game. Can we? We can do without that.
Some
what
might
about-
say Leonard
I was gonna
Fournette.
say, what about you could potentially see something like
He's
that.
banging the
this week.
table
I would
2
say
weeks
he
in a
wants
row.
the ball, man. He wants to play. So I'm not saying, but I think
Yeah.
to your point, I think you can do without having him on the field.
It's not him. It's the fact that he's taking the snaps away from Cook because he's not going to protect you from a fucking blitzing linebacker.
Yeah, no,
It's
he
not
won't
what
be
you
able
drafted
to.
him for.
Right.
Can you take you can move personnel. He can play the slot. Throw Dawson Knox, throw Reggie Gilliam. Reggie Gilliam doesn't see the field at all, and he's pretty good. I will say. I think he's a playmaker. He can make plays and he can block.
Whenever he gets a chance.
So I mean, you don't need Murray there. That's my thing. It's not a player thing. I'd love to see Fournette, but
I just don't.
I just don't want the
thing about-
snaps to come away from Cook.
Then that's where I can agree. If you really want to see this offense flourish, you those carries those looks that you're giving to what's his face, Latavius Murray.
Murray, yeah.
You gotta find a way to just give those to James Cook.
Mhm.
James Cook, I cannot say it enough that I think he's the best playmaker on the Bills offense right now. To this point. And he's coming into his own, and he's coming into his own at the right time. Now, one thing I want to say before you get to your point real quick, because I don't want to forget this, is if the Bills run the table and they make the playoffs or somehow we win the division or whatever happens in the next 4 weeks, right? That play that Allen made, that throw that Allen made, that picture, we all know the picture I'm talking about, from behind him where you see the two linemen, he's about to fall on the sidelines.
Literal back against the wall.
That will be the best picture. That single-handedly, like you just said, backs against the wall. That's just so badass.
Is it getting shipped off to Canton?
That picture, that might
Yeah,
be, that might
it
be
should.
something.
Fuck fucking Kelsey's lateral that you want played in his ceremony, fucking clown.
Because that's a play, man.
I got a question for both of y'all. How would this season play out if Joe Brady was our original OC all the way back to week 1?
That's a good question. I think that's tough, right? So our sample size is 3 games. Our sample size is now
But top defenses.
3 really good defenses, and he's performed well, right? Now, I think we'll know more after the season's over as far as, like, we'll get a bigger sample size one, right? He'll have 7 games under his belt as far as what he was able to bring us in potentially the playoffs. Now, what I will say with him is like, it's just tough to think about what he could have done because we just don't really know too much about what he's able to do. And I mean, I bet you there's probably it seems like this offense, Allen seems like he's back. He's back into his own. Like, he just feels like he's having a lot more fun on the field. I think we can all visibly see that.
Yep.
And maybe that makes a bigger difference in some of these games, right? Maybe if you have your quarterback playing the way he's playing in some of these games, I'm sure that makes a bigger difference. I don't know if there's enough to really say if the season looks any different. It sucks that it sucks that we had to get rid of our offensive coordinator in the middle of the season because most of the time when teams do that, it doesn't end in a successful season. So it's a tough situation to be in. It's a tough situation to be in. I bet you that maybe the offense plays a little better. You might win a game or two more.
I just want to point out that Joe Brady was fired from Carolina, and no team picked him up for anything. I just want to throw that out there. You saw this game in the second half, the aggressiveness of Joe Brady. I mean, we ran the ball. I have it in here, power football. I run the damn ball. The old Colts run the damn ball. He gets away from it because he's kind of just like Allen where he gets antsy, wants the shot plays. So with that being said, he also has not found a way to get Stephon Diggs the football. So I don't know how the season necessarily would play out. I think we would not be in this position.
You don't think we'd lose 6 games yet?
I don't think you lose to the Jets. I don't think you lose to the Patriots, Denver.
That Jags game was weird.
The Jags one I'll leave as an L just because it's
the way
London, dude. I don't know. There's funky things go on there. But with that being said, like you said, 3 games. I don't know yet, but I like that question, though. What do you think?
We definitely don't play safe. I feel like Joe Brady would offer us a lot more this. We definitely would not lose 6 games. I'll tell you that right now.
No, we wouldn't.
We would probably be first in our division right now.
Yeah.
If I had to guess.
Yeah.
I think he gets that drive to win. He's gonna be he got fired from Carolina because he passed too much.
Yeah.
I'd love to pass more than run.
It depends, man, because we were
It depends on the
mauling.
week. It depends on the week.
Our offensive
on,
line
man, run
was
the damn ball.
straight up moving grown men in that first half. The reason why Spags was able to get that much pressure is because it was pass. There was never a threat of a run.
Yeah.
So when you have those old linemen dropping back in their pass pro, they can't fire off.
That's true.
The old linemen are I heard this from one of my Coach Vermette, actually. I know you guys know Vermette.
Oh, yeah.
Big Vermette guy.
The offensive line is kind of like the quarterback, kind of like Allen. They want to go maul. They want to go run the ball. They want to get out and hit people.
Mm-hmm.
When they're dropping back, they're getting hit. They don't like.
That's a good point.
It's kind of like a boxer, right? They cover up. They're just they're getting hit. That's kind of what it is in pass pro. You know what I mean?
I like it.
So that's why when you see like Spencer Brown, he'll have a really good, solid first half. The more you get him dropping, the worse it gets for him because, dude, he can't get off the ball. When a guy like Chris Jones knows, I got to just fire off and I know they're not running, dude, he's going to cause havoc. And that's where I think you saw, and that's where Spags took advantage, sending all those blitzes. But, I don't know, man. I like Brady so far, so we'll see. Communication's going to get better as well. I know we saw the clip of Josh Allen, what are we doing? I don't think McDermott and Brady have the communication down quite yet.
It's not there yet.
So,
but I mean,
it'll
you
come. I mean,
I was gonna say
four
we're
games.
officially a month into him being in this role. I mean, you gotta imagine.
yeah.
And what they just hired some assistant.
A
That's
guy that was familiar with Joe Brady.
Mhm.
So like, I'm sure there will be some help there too, and it'll probably clean things up a little bit. But I mean, you're 100% right. Like it's just it hasn't been the cleanest thing yet because it's so new. Like
Yeah.
they had I don't know. We're a month in. I mean, they've had 3 games and they had the bye week, so we're a month into seeing what we got here. And I mean, we have a month left of this football season.
2-1 record with them, man. There's
And
nothing
I'll
to
take
complain
that.
about.
I'll take that, and it should very well be 3-0. You know what we think about that.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
But like I said, well, speaking of records, Travis lost the pick'ems this week. The stipulation falls on him, and I think that brings us into weekly pick'ems. I would just like to start off by saying I had the Titans beating the Dolphins. Right. I have to say that. I have to start off like that. I have to point that
Cameras
part of
weren't
it
on.
out. And that brings us into Thursday night football. Chargers at Raiders. Easton Stick led
Skip.
Chargers.
Let's go.
They thought they were cooking something up here. They thought the AFC West might look a little bit
Easton
better.
Stick and McConnell.
Easton who? Easton Stick.
And McConnell.
On the marquee for the commercials, it was
O'Connell.
Keenan Allen versus fucking. How can't I think of
Devontae?
Devontae Adams.
Jeez.
It's okay.
Devontae Adams.
Keenan is hurt.
Okay, take him off the commercial.
Thank God I have a bye week in fantasy.
Boy.
How's Josh Jacobs feeling?
Hurt. Still questionable. That's all I know.
What was it?
Because he's also in fantasy. I can pull it up for you right now.
I just got the notification that he went out. I
Yeah,
didn't know
so
what
Yeah, I didn't see what for. I
Thursday
don't
night
know.
football. Come on, guys. I mean, this is just something that we're really
Give me the Raiders.
not looking forward to.
Picking a tie.
Right?
I think I'm going to go Raiders here as well,
Let's go
only
Raids.
because the Chargers, Easton Stick, they just look terrible with Easton Stick. They look terrible. They look terrible with Justin Herbert this year. They look terrible with Brandon Staley as their head coach. And,
Quad.
I mean, that's got to be coming to an end, right?
It was
That's
his
got to
quad.
that's
Yeah,
gotta be
I know
coming
I
to
tried to call it last week that he get fired.
It'll come.
Can you just leave it on the board?
It's gotta
for
stay on the
please,
board.
'cause
It
It's
might-
coming.
It might. The only other thing that I want
We're gonna manifest
board,
it.
There's one other thing that I might have to put underneath it on the board because there might be a board statement coming up here at
for
some
sure.
point tonight. But
He's trying to go back to back.
Brandon Staley, we'll say
Get him
for
out
sure,
of
he's got to get out of here, and I think
He's
that's why
terrible.
the Raiders win.
Yeah, I got the Raiders.
So we got a Raiders
It
wash.
was his quad.
The Raids.
Wow.
The Raids.
It's a nasty one.
All right, guys. Saturday football. There's some fun this week. All right. Saturday's got a good little lineup here. Vikings at Bengals. I mean, Vikings trying to keep a little bit of slither of hope alive.
I got
right?
something for you guys about Jake Browning. Jake, right?
Yeah.
Sounds
yeah.
right. Jake Browning. Dude, he's kind of lighting it up.
He's a
Which I saw on X, Twitter, whatever. Can't remember the guy's name. It wasn't like a verified account, but he pretty much just asked. He was like, do you guys think that Joe Burrow is truly a system quarterback? And it got me thinking.
I've heard that float around.
It got me thinking, how does a guy like Jake Browning come into this offense and just ball?
Do you know his resume?
Who?
Browning.
A little bit.
Probably one of the greatest California high school quarterbacks of all time.
Really?
I found that out just a week ago because obviously they're playing the Colts, so I had to do a little digging because I couldn't figure out what the hell
Did you
was
see
going
his
to happen in that
college
game.
career?
A little bit. I know he played at Washington. He actually played Gardner Minshew
Yep.
in college, and he won that battle as well. So
He it was like an up and down for him. I kind of knew just because we were doing mock drafts
yeah.
at work, but he's not great, but he's not terrible.
No.
He's no like what is that? Tim Boyle,
Who?
right?
Cut.
He was a starter 3 weeks ago. Out the league. He's out the
Shouldn't have.
league.
He frauded his way into the league.
He did. He did.
I can't see myself picking against the Bengals 2 weeks in a row.
I think the Bengals
Go
do win
Bengals.
this game.
I'm gonna take the Bengals.
I understand, both.
Even though we
both-
don't need it for Bills fans,
can't.
but
both teams are kind of fighting for their respective playoff lives here. Vikings desperately need one if they want to somehow stay in the mix. of
Nick
some
Mullins,
sort.
no Jettas.
Yeah, not happening. Justin Jefferson, he did a quick Homer Simpson. He.
I don't got a camera on.
Oh, wait a second. Homer's in the room.
I was gonna bring it up later, but I mean I could hit one of these real quick.
Homer's in the room.
All right, for those of you watching right now, please just promise us that you won't tune out as soon as you see this. Chris, I was gonna ask you later on, like, what? How does it feel just sitting there, like him just staring over your shoulder like that?
Honestly, I kind of forgot about it until I made the Homer Simpson comment. But that's my guy. He looks like he's going in for a little handshake here.
How you doing?
What do you think he predicts over there?
It looks like he's got something to say. What's that? Hold on. Don't. He's got the Bills winning the AFC East. Kind of crazy.
Wow.
Kind of crazy.
Thanks, Homer.
Yeah.
Appreciate Homer.
Simpsons are never wrong.
That's nuts. The Simpsons are never wrong.
Holy shit.
Oh my God.
That's a great point.
Oh my God. Homer knows something that we don't. The Simpsons always know something before we do. Homer's got the Bills winning the AFC East, and I think Homer's right.
I love it.
Bills run the East.
We're going to come back to this. Holy shit.
Yeah, what this could turn into in a couple of weeks here would be
Simpsons
crazy.
is never wrong.
McKenna asks, is that life size? That is quite literally, that is a fairly large Homer Simpson next to me.
I feel like Homer in real life, he'd be like
a lot taller.
6'2",
Yeah.
6'3".
He might
he's
be
a
as
beast.
tall as I am.
Could be.
But this Homer is not as tall as I am. But this, sitting down next to this Homer Simpson.
Are you sure that's Homer? That might be Santa.
I
What do
mean,
we think about that? I mean, you got to get up.
hey, man.
Sorry.
I fucking love this stuff. I love this
All right,
place.
well, he made his prediction. So.
I love this play. Homer Simpson dropping his prediction. We'll put it on the board for Homer. Steelers at Colts, a huge game for the Buffalo Bills here.
Can you guys tie?
Or it's
Please?
just like, yo, either team
You
can
might
lose.
not want that. I don't know if you want that when it comes down to it.
Either team can lose here, and I'm gonna say that the Colts get a win here. I just think the
The
Steelers.
Steelers are not good.
Let's be honest here.
Oh.
Well, I'm watching that Thursday night game this past week, right? And I'm thinking,
I didn't even watch it.
I'm like, God. I'm like, there's no way the Patriots win this game. And
Oh, they get their third
Boy.
win. They get their third win.
boy, was I wrong.
Billy B had to prove something.
I quite literally cannot tell you how loud and clear you could hear on the broadcast them calling for Mason Rudolph in the crowd. Not that I think that that's really any better than what you got. Maybe it is because you got nothing right now, Steelers fans.
Yeah.
You got nothing from the quarterback position. You had nothing when Kenny Pickett was in there. You got even worse when Mitch Trubisky was in there. By the way, Bills fans, we never had to endure that. He sat on the bench the whole entire season. He came in when we were blowing teams out, which I miss doing that. But we never had to see Mitch Trubisky under center like that. So
Give me Colts.
give me the Colts here.
I'm also go Colts.
Hey, I got a quick stat. Colts haven't beat the Steelers since 2008.
I saw
So
that.
that's
on
kind of
Twitter,
what worries me a little
Well,
bit. But at the point where the
Let me
the
go
Steelers
Steel-
are at this season, I'm pretty confident about this one.
You
Confident.
should be.
Homer's telling me something, Tank.
Colts make the playoffs.
Oh, please.
He says the Colts are going to win this game. I didn't ask him. He didn't get into the playoff situation. He didn't get into the whole playoff situation. We might get there with it.
And a quick plug, real quick. Quick plug. We're actually doing something pretty fun this week in the Tank Talk podcast. We're having our old buddy Hefe Boss up. If for those of you who don't know, he's a local Buffalo rapper. Huge Steelers fan. As soon as we seen this game get announced for Saturday, we knew we had to do something. So we're doing a little watch-along, pre-recorded thing here at Emerge Saturday. So that should be out by sometime next week. So keep an eye out for that. Going to be quite entertaining.
badass.
Quite entertaining.
Nice.
Dope.
Can't wait
That's dope.
to tune into that. That's definitely going to be a good time. And that brings us to our final Saturday game. Broncos at Lions. Bills need the Lions here, but the Lions,
They need themselves.
I would say they might need themselves here because
They're frauds.
I'm
I was gonna say,
I'm
are they
glad
fraud-
you said
Are they
it.
fraudulent?
They're
Detroit fans, I'm sorry because you might be coming after me here. Frauds.
They're
Frauds is the best
I
way to
have
put it.
been smacking the Lions money line all year, and I can't do it anymore, dude. They're
look,
letting me down
Yeah.
so
They lost to Chicago,
bad.
man.
Detroit now.
And I
Twice.
will sit here and say Gene's got me wanting to pick the Bears later on. I might have to, right? But the Lions, I don't think I can pick the Lions here. And Denver's starting to heat up.
Yeah,
They've been heating up.
You're making me switch my pick.
But
Yo.
Denver looks like a better team in the AFC West. Just saying
One
that.
game out of the AFC West.
You're welcome, Denver. You're welcome. We made it a little bit better for you. But you guys are making it better for yourselves.
Yeah.
Because they are starting to they're beating
Yeah.
some dogs. I mean, they beat the Chiefs early on in the season. They beat us early on in the season, and I think the Broncos.
You're making me switch my pick.
The Broncos are one of the teams that probably will make.
I'm going
the wild
Broncos
card.
too.
I'm gonna.
So I just want to note, so far, you guys picked the teams that you probably should be rooting to lose.
Yeah. Oh, I.
Just want to point it
Hey
out.
man, we're realists around here, man.
I
Just
love-
calling
no,
it
I
how
love
it
it.
is,
I
you
It's
love
know?
not happening. Yeah.
Because on my show, we
we
like to
don't
pick
need
the
any
teams
of
we
these.
want to.
Really don't need any of these teams to. It won't matter as long as
We
we
control our own
Right.
If we win out,
We control our
we're
own
good.
destiny.
We can. If we lose to the Cowboys, then we kind of have to hope for a couple of things.
Oh,
But at this point, I feel like I think I kind of have the same feeling as you guys. Is I think we're pretty confident we're gonna beat the teams we have to beat, and
Yeah. So it feels eerily like the 2021 season.
it sure
Like,
does.
And here we are. We're sitting at the same through 13 games in 2021. 13 games. We're sitting at 7-6. So identical records,
Wow.
and we're sitting the same spot where we are with the division.
Mhm.
We are one game back from, 2 games back?
two.
Technically 2, but the good news is we have the head-to-head on them,
Yep.
and we play them one more
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So it feels
God for that.
exactly because that's exactly what it was like in 2021, where you needed New England to just drop a game, then going into Foxborough, you just needed to beat them. The division's yours.
Mhm.
And here we are with Miami, just need them to lose a game, and they don't have a relative. The Bills have an easier
Cowboys,
easier
Ravens.
last 4 games than the Dolphins have. I mean, because the Dolphins we played the Cowboys.
Ravens,
Yep.
Yeah,
then us.
they've got a tough 4-game slate here. All 4 of those teams, I could easily see them losing a game or 2 there.
They just lost Connor Williams, his
For the
ACL.
ACL.
Yep.
So that's
And
going to hurt him.
I know Tyreek Hill's day to day.
They signed Melvin Ingram.
They did sign Melvin Ingram. The weird
he's
thing
back.
about signing a
He's
defensive
a Bills
lineman.
killer.
So I will say this: the weird thing, I understand you sign a guy like that to make to help with a late season push. I just think it's so tough to sign a guy in December and be like, okay, you're gonna we need you to step in. He's missed training camp, he's missed mini camp, he's missed the whole entire season
This is his first
as far
team.
as being with the team. Am I right or wrong about that?
I believe so. I don't
I was
think
gonna
he
say-
ever got picked
I
up.
would say so. He's jumping in December. This is the most important football for all 32 teams. Well, 31 NFL teams, or 32 teams eliminated. now.
Panthers,
And
Patriots.
So 2 teams are eliminated. So the most important month for all of football across the board. I just don't think he probably jumps in and makes some massive difference. It's just
Maybe,
it's so weird.
maybe playoff time.
Yeah. Maybe that may exactly
Week
Give him a month.
17, 18 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's starting to become a trend in the league. I don't want to take too much time on this, but you seen it last year with Ndamukong Suh going to the Eagles, Linval Joseph, who's now on the Bills. So I mean, maybe he can come in and make the. I think he played there previously.
Yeah.
I don't know.
last
I don't know.
season or something like that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he's familiar or whatever. They got JPP over there too. I don't know, but if there was a guy they could throw on your team just live in December, he'd be one of them. But I mean, still not easy. It's
Right.
easier said than done.
Right. And that does lead us into the.
Wait a minute.
We didn't pick.
Did we pick?
I thought we were going Broncos.
Oh, I'm going with the fraud ass Lions.
Oh.
Like slap him on the money line again.
Yep,
I
I'm
was-
not
I
going to
thought-
do it again.
The only reason I thought we were going Broncos, and he switched his pick. So that's.
Oh, just because I was calling them fraud. Yeah.
So
no.
you're going Lions.
Fooled.
Yes.
Got you.
You fooled me.
He persuaded me. I had
I-
the Lions down.
I was going
You don't gotta change for me.
I tried to persuade myself, and I'm
I'll change
still
for
hitting the money line.
Oh, Travis just said he'll change for me.
What a guy, man.
Love
Thank
it.
you,
All
buddy.
right.
Thank you, buddy. All right. 1 o'clock slate on Sunday. The game I got circled: Jets at Dolphins. The Dolphins just dropped a dud on this past Monday night. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the stat. What was it? Leading with under 3 minutes left by two touchdowns.
14 points.
762.
points. I thought it was 0 in 767.
Yeah, something
67?
crazy number.
And now it is 1 in 767 because the Titans, they delivered for us. Will Levis delivered for us. I will say, Vrabel delivered for us. I love you go down the field as fast as you did. you go for 2 and make it a 6-point game so that if you get a touchdown, you take the lead. I love that mindset from the head coach. Your team's 4-8. You almost virtually have nothing to play for, and you go down there and you get it done. You win on prime time, and I think Will Levis, I'm going to be honest, I think that guy's legit. Not that I want to spend a bunch of time on the Titans right now, but the Dolphins, are we seeing the December fall down from the Miami Dolphins?
Just like last year.
I don't think.
I
don't think this week though.
I'm be honest with you.
You guys are going Jets?
I got the Jets.
I got the Jets.
Jets.
You can't get persuaded again.
I'm not getting persuaded.
Okay.
Not on this one, pal.
They topped the Dolphins here. I mean,
Big injuries.
Zach Wilson played good.
he did. He's coming off of beating the Texans, man. He's coming
really good.
All we've heard is C.J. Stroud, and the Houston Texans. They're a problem over there.
Concussed. You got me 3 fucking fantasy points.
Sorry about it, Travis.
that Jets defense is going to give Miami a hard time. Tyreek Hill banged up. He already said in his press conference he's feeling it in the ankle. Okay, he's been feeling it. He's banged up.
Tank said they're nothing without Tyreek.
I think there's a little bit more. I think there's a little bit more there than what we know. I just think that Jets defense, they are going to give the Dolphins a hard time.
It's one of those things.
And
I hope I'm wrong.
If Zach Wilson plays a sliver of the way that he played, he's coming off his best game as a quarterback in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
If he plays a sliver of the way he did, they definitely beat the Dolphins. I'm picking the Jets here.
I hope I'm wrong.
I'm confidently picking the Jets.
I hope I'm wrong.
I'm with you.
Go Fins.
I like.
Fins by what?
The fraud fins.
The spread.
The doll
was
frauds.
like 10.5, but if Tyreek's definitely going to make a difference, so we'll see.
Yeah, they're frauds too.
Texans at Titans.
Titans coming up.
So-
He's praising the Titans over here.
Fuck them. So you like that? So in AFC South, I know it's a little different for the AFCs, but AFC South, like Indy's they ran at the table for so long, just previously with the Titans as a recent. So there's no real rivalry, but there's just really nothing to it. But what makes the Colts Titans a rivalry is how the fans acted when they went on that run. So ever since then, fuck them.
I like it. This is C.J. Stroud gonna play this week?
Don't know.
Does it
Questionable.
that's got to be a question.
Concussion protocol.
That changes a little bit for me, but I'm gonna sit here and say that Will Levis, against the Dolphins, just looked. He made some poor decisions. I mean, he threw a pick six to.
He
to Simon.
tried to give Miami the game.
Modern day Carson Wentz.
Yeah, he made some poor decisions, but as all quarterbacks make poor decisions, our quarterback, our Lord and Savior Josh Allen, makes poor decisions, and he's a damn good quarterback. Will Levis, he's got that dog in him, man. He's got that dog in him, and I seen it come out on Monday Night Football.
Little puppy.
And guess what? And I'm sure not that you're a Titans guy over there, Tank, but I know for a damn fact of these two teams, you want to see the Titans win.
It really doesn't matter to me. I mean,
I got the Titans winning.
I got the Texans.
If CJ doesn't play, that's the question.
Even if CJ Stroud plays, give me the Titans.
Even if he plays.
I'm going to go.
It's going to be close.
Yeah, I'm going to go Titans just because no Tank Dell.
Yeah, shout out
Stroud's.
Nico Collins got hurt.
Nico Collins is going to be questionable.
You guys might.
They're
too
just
late.
banged
Locked
up.
in, too late.
They're
All right,
so
sorry.
banged up.
There's no consequence next week, so it's fine.
No, other than the fact that me and John are starting to creep back up on it.
Yeah.
A little bit. Getting there.
Feels good, John. Feels good.
Love it.
We're starting to just get a little closer.
I'm with Travis.
Yeah, fuck them.
Thank you. Fuck Titans.
Fuck them.
Fuck them.
Oh,
you.
Texans?
No, I'm Titans, man.
Tighten up,
man. Tighten up.
Tighten up out of here.
Tighten up. Buccaneers at Packers.
Frauds.
Bunch of frauds.
So sick.
You say that for every team so far?
I know. Jordan Love has drawn me in and
drawing your back
spit on
out.
my dome piece.
He
too
draws
many
you in
times.
and then just kicks you out.
Just like I get evicted every time.
He does. He sucks. I'm gonna be honest
Oh
with you.
my god!
Because you're right. He
sucks.
pulls you in, and he's like, "Oh my God, okay, we're starting to see Jordan Love come to his
Yeah.
own," and then he just shits all over. it.
Yeah.
Like
fuck.
Monday Night Football was a prime
Who are
example.
they playing?
Not that again. I will say Jordan Love left the field, winning the game. Defense doesn't stop. Danny DeVito, Tommy DeVito, something
That's
DeVito.
Tommy Cutlets.
Hey.
Tommy Cutlets.
You see his agent?
That's great. I
thought that
hope
was
that's
actually-
real.
I thought-
I
no,
think
I
it's fake, but I
thought they
hope
said
it's
it was-
real.
I thought that was his brother.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's fake, but it was still funny.
I would say because on TikTok.
Why is it fake, bro? He's like,
No, on
Yeah,
TikTok,
it's real, dude. That's his agent.
On TikTok,
he's
on TikTok,
Italian.
on TikTok, I was there's like this Giants fan, big Italian Giants fan that
How
like
you
has
doing?
like a decent following. How you doing? And he posted a video and he was like, "Oh, I'm here with Tommy DeVito's the name, right? Like
Yeah, it's Tommy.
I got to start respecting the guy a little bit.
Nah,
He's
we
winning
call
some
him
football
Danny,
games.
dude.
You got Danny DeVito. I'm here with Danny DeVito's dad, and then he goes, "I'm here with his brother." It's like, so I don't know what's going on there, but they look kind of alike.
Just go with the storyline.
Now let me say this.
That's
though.
his agent. He has
Let
a
me
guy
say
for
this.
everything.
You see how we sit on this podcast and we call him Tommy DeVito, Danny DeVito, something DeVito.
Cutlet.
There was a press conference where they sat in front they sat in front of Kayvon Thibodeau's locker, and they were interviewing him. And the reporter goes, "Yeah, like, what do you feel about Danny DeVito's?" They called him Danny DeVito twice.
I feel like we started that,
in-
bro.
in-
on
in-
TikTok.
dude, I can't- I-
'Cause
in
I've
the
been
second
saying that
name-
since day one.
In the second question, he goes, "Oh, has Danny given you any suggestions on Italian restaurants?" Kayvon Thibodeau goes, "Yeah, Danny really hasn't. He hasn't really given me any spots, and that's kind of like my beef against him right now." Even he called him Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
They don't even know what his name is.
Who the fuck is this guy?
How we doing?
Who the fuck is this?
That's
guy?
Tommy.
And that's why I'm taking the Buccaneers.
Yeah, give me the Bucks.
We're not even on that game yet.
We are now.
Give me the Bucks.
Yeah.
All right.
I love when we go.
Speaking of fucking Johnny Cutlets,
I love when we go.
Speaking
on
of
these.
Danny DeVito, the Giants and Saints are.
You know what his run reminds me of, bro?
How we doing?
This is like Linsanity all over again, but NFL. At some point, it's gonna have a tremendous collapse. At some point, it is.
Oh, yeah,
way
for
this-
sure.
There's no way this keeps going. Right? I don't want to be a hater. I love that. Hey, how you doing? I love all that, but it's gonna end at some point.
yeah, it's
It-
gonna
it
come
appears-
crashing down.
I sent this to Tink too. He's got his own beer.
Who?
Did you see that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, DeVito.
Donnie?
Yeah. Donnie,
Tommy, Johnny.
I don't know what the
Something.
guy's name is.
How we doing?
Where is it?
Can I say it one more time,
thought it
dude?
was
The
pretty
Saints are frauds too.
Oh. How are they frauds? I would
Oh,
love
it
to
got
hear that.
deleted.
There might be.
Damn it.
I don't know. They just are.
Are the Falcons frauds too in the next game?
They just stink.
Wait, did you pick? You guys pick?
I didn't
No, we didn't. But I'm just wondering because,
sorry.
like, you were right. There's frauds all across the
Yeah,
board
there's
for
a
this
lot.
guy.
I mean, it's the NFC South, so you know.
Yeah.
All right, so Giants, Saints.
I'm going Saints.
I'm going Giants. How
Fuck
you
it.
doing? How you doing?
Give me Tommy, whatever his name is.
Tommy John surgery.
Travis has a few.
Give me
Louisville
Cutlets.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah,
honest
he's
with you.
either gonna pull away or we're gonna be right back in it.
I'm brave.
Let's
Either
go,
way,
bro.
I'm with it.
How we doing?
Probably not good.
I see the game plan. I see it. Travis
Falcons.
against the world.
Falcons at Panthers.
much.
God, the Panthers
Oh
were
my
just such a
God.
joke this year, man.
Give me the pit. No, I'm just
The Panthers are just blessing the Bears.
Yeah.
Blessing the Bears with a really good pick.
I don't know if you guys been noticing though. Bryce Young has been playing better.
He is. He's finally starting to play better.
I feel bad for
The
the
only,
guy.
the only
though.
thing is, I don't think you could plug any quarterback in that system right now and they'd be successful.
No, they're a mess. They're a mess.
That offensive line is a mess. Their weapons are a mess.
So I don't think it's really fair for Bryce Young.
You
to
can
do
judge
that.
him next year.
Right.
They're going to be a mess next year, too.
Year after that.
All right, I'm
All
with
right,
it.
fair enough.
After his rookie contract's over with, you could.
Yeah, the third year because they don't have their
Yeah.
pick next year. So
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna go Falcons here.
I'm going.
Not that
Yeah,
I mean
I'm
Desmond
going
Ritter.
Falcons.
Desmond
Give me
Ritter
the
has
Falcons.
easily been just kind of just a disappointment.
Just not this week.
He's another guy that kind of draws you in, like, there's
26
something there, and then
26
just,
points on my bench. 23, 26.
Yeah, well,
points
he
on my
did
bench.
ball this week, but didn't they? Did they win?
I don't know. He still balled for fantasy. And I still.
I don't know. He's a fraud.
bench
I don't
They
pay.
lost.
I would say I don't pay attention to the NFC
29,
South.
26. to the
Isn't
Bucks.
isn't that aren't the top teams like 6 and 7? Like, I don't
Yeah.
really pay attention to the
Yeah.
NFC South. Man.
No, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's still a joke.
Sad thing is, there's the other teams in the NFC South are still in the playoff picture, so that says a lot about the NFC.
Yep.
Bears at Browns.
Speaking of playoff picture, here we go.
And
Need the Browns to lose.
I'm going the Chicago Bears.
I went Browns.
Right on.
Give me.
Gene. I'm going for Gene.
I love Gene.
You're going Browns, right?
Yeah, give me Joseph Flacco.
He's
Joe
finally.
Flacco's balling. Oh,
Give me
God.
Joe
Flacco's
Flacco.
balling.
He's
He's
finally
balling.
gravy.
Give me Joe
I'm going
Flacco.
Browns.
Yeah, you guys aren't persuading me.
No, I wouldn't want to.
That's cool.
Yeah, you guys aren't
You
persuading
stay
me.
over there.
Yeah, I will.
I still think Fields is terrible.
Give me dubbers.
Think they trade him this season? Off season?
I
not
think
a
they
shot.
almost have to.
Not a shot. Not a shot.
Huh?
We had a wild take. Maybe they build around him.
Yep, that's my take too. Tank.
Well, they tried.
Build
Well,
around.
they're trying to.
Build around
Still
what?
good.
Homer Simpson tells me they're building around him.
He's terrible.
Homer Simpson's never wrong.
They're going to be an interesting conversation in the offseason, though.
They're not trading him. Not a shot.
I'd ship him out.
I would get rid of
I'd
Matt
trade him for,
Eberflus
like, a
before
fucking
I'd-
Slim Jim.
before I'd- or Eberflus. I'd get rid of him before.
I get the Macho Man Randy Savage Slim Jim.
Something like that.
At least.
Anything but Fields.
Chiefs at Patriots. Yeah, okay. The Chiefs, yeah, they lost 2 in a row, right? They're not losing 3.
Nah, give me the Chiefs.
It would have been so cool for Patrick Mahomes to finally lose 3 games in a row if this wasn't the Patriots coming. If they didn't have to play the Patriots.
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious.
Now, I would say Travis isn't going to sit here. He's not going to give us a free win. He's going to go with the Chiefs. I wish he was going to be like, yo, Chris, we want you back in
Travis,
this.
you should do it.
I'm going Patriots.
Travis, do it. Do it.
49ers at Cardinals, the first game of the 4 p.m. slate. 49ers at Cardinals and the. Come on.
Yeah.
That's the best team in the NFL. And I'm not talking about the Cardinals.
No doubt.
Give me the Niners.
The 49ers. I had 49ers fans, by the way, in that Big Dom video, in the Philadelphia Eagles
Niners.
video. Had a lot of Niners fans that were like respecting us because we shouted them. We shouted out the 49ers in that video as well. And we said that they're coming out of the NFC.
Yeah, because you,
Hey.
you said fuck Big Dom, too.
That's
I love Big Dom, but I
This
love the Niners.
This is a podcast that is definitely supported by the 49ers fans, I'd say. And apparently
Good,
there's a
man.
Chiefs fan out there that,
49ers,
that
Bills.
was
I-
listening to us.
I'll openly say, man, the Niners are my second team.
I
been
might
for
be-
years.
Well, I'll say
Have
if
been
the
for
Bills
years.
if the
Bills
Bills
are
don't
out,
win the Super
I
Bowl
root
here,
for them.
I'll root for the 49ers. I'll
Thank
root
you,
for
man.
the
Join the
49ers.
band.
If I didn't have financial ties to the Buffalo Bills, Niners would be my second, too.
I appreciate that, man.
There you
Nice.
go. Yeah.
You're feeling good right now.
Got everybody on it.
Yeah, this week there's not no contradicting there.
I feel like it's been like that for me since Kaepernick was playing.
So
Somehow,
I was gonna say
I absolutely loved Kaepernick.
it was
dude.
fun watching him.
I-
It was fun watching him.
Yeah. Yeah, he was just exciting, man.
He was.
Like,
He was. And I loved like all the tattoos, bro. It was just.
Pretty
It was
sweet.
cool. It was cool. Like
Slow
that was
your
that
roll,
was a,
Chris.
that was an era of football that was
Slow
like
your roll.
that was pretty cool.
Why's that?
What?
What
What?
is that?
Travis? What?
Travis, what's
I
the
mean,
problem?
why can't I like?
Got those tattoos, those big
His big muscles. What's the deal?
muscles.
I don't think you know what I'm doing. Every time Colin Kaepernick scored, he used to always do.
Oh, I know what you're doing. I was just making a joke out of it. You don't get it.
You don't get it.
You're,
I
you're
don't
being
get
a little flirtatious.
He's a,
You got a little muscle.
You trying to say that I want Colin Kaepernick back in the league?
No.
Cause you're goddamn right, I do.
I wouldn't mind it.
Bring him back in
See,
the
I
league.
was on that boat, but I think it's too late.
Yeah, I
it's
think
way
it's
too
over.
late
It's
now,
over.
but yeah.
It's over. We're about to be in 2024. The guy hasn't
Yeah.
touched a football since 2016.
Yeah.
It's over. Commanders at Rams. I got the Rams.
Give me the Rams.
Whose house?
You're the Rams.
Rams house.
When Gene was talking, man, I've been saying it for a couple weeks now, dude. I think the Rams are a very good team, and I think they're going to make the playoffs.
I like it.
I like that.
it. Cowboys at Bills. Most important game of the week.
You guys go first.
Oh, boy.
Give me the fucking
I'm
Bills.
going
Come
Bills
on.
by a billion. This team
Travis.
right here, they know what's on the line. They know what's on the line, and I hope you go Cowboys.
I'm going
I was
Cowboys.
gonna say
I respect that.
I don't want you to get persuaded at all.
I don't want me to be wrong, but
You got the
Or right.
Buffalo Bills who know what's on the line. The Miami Dolphins just lost on Monday Night
respect
Football. They now see there is not a clear path, but there is a much clearer path to now
Yep.
winning your division and potentially hosting a playoff game. That's on the table. That almost didn't seem like it was on the table 48 hours ago, right?
Mhm.
This game just got so much more important.
I agree.
This game just got that much more important. And when Buffalo has an important-ass football game, those fans show up. Those fans show up, and that atmosphere is going to be amazing. I cannot wait to be there. I quite literally, the whole entire day at work, people make fun of me. They say I fantasize at work. I am fantasizing this week because my Buffalo Bills are going to kick the shit out the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm saying it. I'm saying it.
Kick the shit.
We're winning the game, man. We're winning the game.
Shit.
Joe Brady's going to run the damn ball,
Ah.
and we're going to win the game.
Yeah, no, he better throw the damn ball. They are very susceptible to the
40
deep ball.
degrees?
Whoa. I will say he does. you could say that they do need to throw the ball. You could say that they've got a great defense line. They do. They need to run the damn ball. They ran the ball on the Eagles and they put up the best run game plan on the Eagles before that game that nobody else ran the ball on the Eagles the way that the Bills did. And I hope the Bills run the ball on the Eagles. I mean the Cowboys. We'll jump into that, but I'm going Bills.
Yeah,
I'm going Bills.
I can't pick the Bills all 17 weeks. I gotta be a little bit. I gotta come down to earth a little bit.
Okay.
They're gonna let the Cowboys, even if they're up, they're gonna let the Cowboys hang in there. And even on the road, the Cowboys are bad on the road, but you just can't let the Cowboys hang around.
Yeah. The Bills aren't gonna let that happen.
Okay. I hope I'm wrong.
Orchard Park. Not Orchard Park.
I hope I'm wrong.
Not Orchard Park. The Bills have played
My mic's on, right?
Besides that Broncos game, Travis, the Bills have played their best football at one Bills drive.
Okay.
Shit.
And the Cowboys have played their worst
He's
football.
trying to convince you.
I don't care.
I'm a little bit shocked that you're
Don't
going to
care.
Cowboys.
I have to come down to earth sometime.
All right, fair enough.
I respect.
I gotta
it,
be
man.
realistic.
I'm happy.
Cowboys are playing very, very good
Look,
right now.
I
They are.
need to catch up. I'm happy you're going to Cowboys.
Okay. You're not gonna be happy someday.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna kick the piss out of the Cowboys,
Wow.
but I'll take
know
them
I
to
go
win
on
the
rolls.
game.
You know I go on rolls, and that's where I like to go on the roll, and I like.
I just think
like to get
my
going.
thought
I get
process.
little.
My thought process is the typical Bills. They're not gonna win out. They're gonna wait all the way until week 17 to take the division over. That's just my thought process. It's a
couldn't-
typical Bills.
As long as if the Bills lose to the Cowboys, as long as the fucking fraud Finns lose to them too, we're all good.
So, I would agree to that, but we've seen it. We've seen it where the Bills lose a game and it motivates them to just go on this team.
I hope.
We've seen it every single season the last 3-4 years. Noticeably, my favorite one to where they went on a tear was when we lost on the Hail Murray, and they went on just a long tear into the playoffs.
Yep.
And then my favorite season is the 2021 season. I love that they were 7-6, and then they went on a tear. They're 7-6 here. They're going to go on a tear, and they're going to beat the Cowboys.
I'm with it.
History repeats itself.
I'm with it.
Its history does repeat itself, and it's going to continue on Sunday, and I'm looking forward to that. Ravens
gonna be
at
a great
Jaguars.
ride home.
The Ravens at Jaguars. The Jaguars, man. You want to talk about frauds? You want to talk about frauds? That is a fraud. I agree. The Ravens will win this game. The Ravens. That's the best team in the AFC. The Ravens are the best team in the AFC. The only team stopping the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC is the Baltimore Ravens. That's the only team that can beat them, and that's when they beat themselves. That's a good football team. I'm going to give them props. I'm going to give them credit where credit's due. I shit on Lamar Jackson a lot, right? And I will say he's having a solid season, and that team's virtually they're the best team in the AFC. Like, I think that's clear as day.
I'm going
They
Ravens.
beat 'em.
They're
Ravens.
the most well-rounded team. I'm going to go Ravens here.
That's true.
What do you say?
Colts beat them.
You did. You did.
Shout out.
You did beat
Just
them.
had to throw it in there.
It must feel good to beat the best team in the AFC.
Yeah, give me the Ravens also.
And then the Eagles at Seahawks. I can't agree with Gene anymore. I think
Yeah.
the Seahawks are frauds.
Frauds.
And
What's the fraud count?
we'll have to go back and
We got a
count.
counter?
I don't know, dude. I
two
don't
and
know.
We might
We'll have to go back and look.
We might actually have to count those ones.
Yeah, we'll go back and look.
Are we going Eagles across the board here?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm just gonna count these splits up real quick because we got a few.
I don't know what it is, man. I just that word's just stuck in my head.
Fraud.
Was there
6
like
splits.
And they're most,
Travis is
and
on.
they're-
Travis is on the opposite end of a lot of them.
Let's go, Travis.
It's Travis versus Bills.
The
Aholic
world.
Pod. I like it. I like
I
it.
love it, man.
I like it. That's not a terrible week of football. I forgot that they had 3 games on Saturday
Yeah.
this week, which it sucks that I work, but when I get out of work, that's pretty badass. And there's a rumor that I might be going over to your place on Saturday. And if I go over to your place, I expect hopefully to be able to watch some football.
It'll be on.
So that'll be badass, man. That's an interesting little stretch that we got here. I'm looking forward to this week. Obviously, big week for the Bills. Every week's going to be big for the Bills the next 4 weeks, but
Yep, that's right.
but this week is big because it's this week, and it's the game that we can control because it's this week. And
It's also the game we're gonna see a shirtless Travis up in the
shirtless
stands.
Travis. I'm just glad that I'm going to be down in the 100s. And I don't got to sit near that. Just get better, bro.
It's 40 degrees.
pick a little bit better, bro.
It could be a lot worse.
It could have been a lot
be a
worse
lot
in
worse.
December.
You lucked out, bro, for sure.
The weather's just been completely mild compared to what it normally is.
That's cool.
What? You know, wasn't there something this week that you were saying that was pissing me off? Oh no, I was pissing you off.
What you say?
What did you say this week that I was just pissing you off for like a whole? We were playing PlayStation the other night, right?
I was
And-
getting on his nerves.
No. You got on my nerves once.
It was over Sean McDermott.
And then I just went after you the whole entire night, the rest of the night.
Okay, listen. This dude was straight bashing Sean McDermott for 45 minutes straight. We beat the Chiefs. Good job, Sean McDermott. Oh my God, Sean McDermott's the best thing since sliced bread. He switched up so fast.
Okay, so not even. I'm not gonna. Okay, hear me out. Let me explain.
I like Sean McDermott. I love him.
Let me explain. I understand where I'm. I'm still
Every
sitting.
time he brought up Sean McDermott, Sean McDermott.
Okay, because he's
Big
about
whoop.
he's about to show us Bills fans what the hell is up, and he's gonna go on this historical run,
Is
man.
he gonna do it or?
And let me say this. I not gonna say I jumped the gun as far as this whole Sean McDermott stuff, because trust me, I'm still sitting there like, do I want to go to the playoffs and get bounced out? No, I hate that. I absolutely hate that, and it could still very well happen this year. And odds are, being a Bills fan is probably what is going to happen, right? But
It was just me being me. I got in the PlayStation party. Chris was all giddy.
very happy on Sunday.
Very happy.
In a great mood. The Bills just beat the Chiefs.
They did.
on
I
top of
was
the
very
world.
happy too.
It was my first day to be able to release
But
to
he-
the real world with this whole COVID thing.
But
I was
he-
a happy guy.
He was giddy, and I was like, I brought it down a few notches.
Oh, he brought it down a lot of notches.
It was just me being me.
Yeah.
Shout out you.
We're going to jump into this Who's the Man segment, and you're probably just going to be you here, too. Who's the man? And when I say he's going to be him, he's not going to be him. He's going to be his normal self, and he's just going to let John catch up. I want to kick us off this week because
I hope Travis gets this and I don't, man.
I want to kick it
I'm
off.
not going to. There's
I'll-
a high chance I don't get it.
I want to kick it off this week because you guys are either going to get mine or you guys aren't. And it's just
That's
there's
the
not
game, I think.
that is the game, but but
Pretty
when I
much
say
what
like
it is.
Who's the man?
but like when I say it, like I feel like you guys are either gonna get it fast or you're
Okay.
just not gonna get it.
Okay.
At all.
Yeah, okay.
Sean
Um,
McDermott.
Gotcha.
All right, my guy went to USC, drafted second overall in the 2006 NFL draft.
That was 5.
Second overall.
Okay.
Bro, don't overthink this one.
Played for the Saints, Dolphins, Lions, 49ers, and then Bills.
My bad. What was the first team?
Saints, and that is in order. You already got it, don't you?
Yeah, it was off the college.
Really?
Oh fuck!
Second one gave it away. I don't know about you guys.
So
I
second
got
overall pick.
2006.
Second overall pick.
I might.
You're overthinking.
There
I'm
might
not saying
be-
nothing else because I'm gonna give it up.
All right.
I have no clue.
All right, line number 4. Became the 17th player in NCAA history to gain 2,000 all-purpose yards twice in their collegiate career. Okay. Did not gain 1 positive yard for the Buffalo Bills.
What the fuck?
No way you don't get this.
I cannot put it any more on a
The
silver
first
platter.
two was
Oh.
it. The first two was it.
No, first 2 wasn't it?
No. So
Wow.
I thought I wasn't going to get past you with the first 2.
2006. I had
You
USC.
might. Do you have it? Do you know who I'm talking about? Do you have it in your head?
No.
You are going to be so pissed off.
Wow.
2006 is. So he was the Saints 2006.
You guys are gonna walk out. I swear to God.
Should I?
My
give
bad.
it-
Okay. Hold on. He was the
name the
Saints.
teams.
It was the Saints.
Drafted
First
by the
round pick.
Saints. Played for the Dolphins. Played for the Lions, 49ers, and then
the
ended his career with the
Dolphins.
Bills.
Oh, the Dolphins. Who drafted him?
The Saints.
Saints. I
Oh,
gave
the
you in
Saints,
order.
okay.
I gave you in order of the
2006.
teams.
Second overall.
Saints.
Did
The
not
Saints.
gain
Play,
one.
I'll even help you out
The
just because now I
Saints.
have to. Played
did
for the
not
Bills in
get-
2016.
Huh?
Played for the Bills in
I
2016.
thought John was the college
I was
football
gonna say
guy.
as soon as
dude.
I thought after I ripped off the first 2, I was like, oh,
He
he's
did not
getting-
gain 1 positive yard for the Buffalo Bills, and he only played 2016 for the Bills.
I don't.
Oh, god damn it, man. That pissed me off. I got it.
God damn it. It will piss me off.
Yeah,
It will.
That done ticked me off.
You just. I mean, we can't have.
Normally,
all
I'm
day.
not this vocal during this segment like this.
Yeah,
but
I
that
over-
was
I think I
the
overthought
first
it.
two was like.
You just let me know when you're. Will you let me know when you're ready to have John
Oh,
spit off his answer?
you already said we can't have it all day. Go.
Dude, I feel like
Tell-
I'm wrong now.
tell
Is
us.
it Reggie Bush?
It's Reggie Bush.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I overthought that so bad.
Reggie Bush finished
Overthought
the
it.
yard. Finished his career with
Reggie.
the Bills with negative yards.
Yep.
Yes, he did.
That pissed me
God
off,
damn
man.
You want me to go?
And he was second overall.
Casey did get it. Reggie Bush.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like a lot of people definitely. Really?
You know what? I don't know why. I can literally picture him in a Trojans uniform. For whatever reason, I convinced myself he was 2005. I don't know.
You guys ready?
Whatever. I'm over it. I got it.
Super Bowl champion.
Yes, sir.
His college is Stanford. Washington, it was the Redskins, now it's Commanders. Second round of the 2014 NFL Draft. He is a defensive end. Two teams, Washington and Buffalo. He was in Washington 2014 to 2017 and Buffalo 2018 to 2020. In 2018, he signed a 3-year, $22.5 million deal with the Bills.
I got it.
Second season with the Bills, he played 10 games, losing playing time to the young guy in the room, A.J. Epinesa.
Whatever. You just let me know when you're ready. I got it.
Did you read that really quick, man?
Sorry, I had to keep. All right, you want me to go again?
No.
Stanford,
Yeah, fuck that.
Washington Commanders in the second round of the 2014 NFL
He
Draft.
played from when they were the Redskins.
Hmm. Thanks, man.
Is this my man or is it his man?
Who's
kinda
man?
confused.
That's the name of the game. Who's the man?
He's a defensive end.
Yep.
He played for Washington Redskins and the Buffalo Bills.
Yep.
Washington Redskins, 2014 and 2017.
They're the Commanders now.
My fucking God.
Yeah, you guys said that word a lot.
2018 to 2020 for the Bills.
You might be mad at yourself.
3 years, $22.5 million deal with the Bills in 2018.
I might be mad at myself.
I love this game.
Second season with the Bills, he played 10 games, losing
it.
play. Okay.
Can
I have mine
Oh,
written
oh,
down.
what
You
you
want to
guys
just shoot?
I got Trent Murphy.
Okay.
Yeah, Trent Murphy.
Took me a minute, man, but I'm getting there.
I got it on. As soon as I heard the Commanders and then the Stanford thing, I was like, ooh. I follow him on the Instagram, and I was like, he's removed from football now. So it's
Yeah,
just
I had it, but I had to go through those.
I like it.
Your
I like it.
bullet
I
points.
found
again.
I found myself stalking his Instagram like not too long ago, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
This guy knew.
You get bored sometimes.
Weren't we sitting at dinner the couple or last week or something? I go, isn't that Trent Murphy?
You did.
Like there was
You
a
did.
picture
You
of him.
did.
Yeah, that's funny.
You
That's
did.
why you seen him out.
No, God, no.
That's funny because you
Yeah.
did say that.
All right. Ooh. All righty, man. Attended college at North Carolina. Drafted 4th round in 2011. Teams, in order: Bills, Tennessee, Carolina. He was selected to 1 Pro Bowl, and he played in the 2017 playoffs.
What's the teams in order again?
Sure, man. He got drafted by the Bills in 2011, and he went to Tennessee, and he played for Carolina.
Nope, that's not.
Now, when you say in the 2017 playoffs, was he with the Bills in the 2017 playoffs?
I didn't write that down because I think it's going to give it away, but do you want me to tell you who he was with?
I guess.
He was with Tennessee.
Okay.
I wanted to say somebody else, but it was not. He didn't play for the
Drafted in
Panthers.
2011 by the Bills,
Bills.
in
Yes,
the
sir.
4th round.
Yes, sir.
Then you went to Carolina.
Played 1 year with Carolina.
In between the Bills and the.
Nope, that was the last team he was with. So he was with the Bills from 2011 to 2014, Tennessee 2015 to 17, and then 2018 he played with Carolina. I didn't think I was going to stump you. I thought the 2017 playoffs was give that away, but
Well, I'm trying to think of their roster in 2017.
Yeah.
Which I'm trying to focus more on their roster in 2017 versus when he played for the Bills, which is maybe not the right way to approach this.
Depends, like, if you really watched them, like the Bills. Do you want me to give a position and then call it that?
I guess. I mean,
Use a safety.
What year was he drafted?
I don't remember. 2011? Yeah, 2011.
I have a feeling I'm wrong here, but
I feel I might be mixing my years up, but I already put someone down, so it doesn't matter.
I'm definitely wrong.
Who we got?
I'm definitely wrong. I'm completely wrong when I say this, and I can't even. Duke Williams?
No.
Safety?
That was my guess.
I went Jarius Bird.
No. It was
Harrisburg went to the Saints.
Denoris Searcy.
Oh.
Yep.
You know who I was? I tossed and turned between. I forgot about Searcy. I tossed and turned between Jonathan Meeks. I don't know if you remember Jonathan Meeks. Jonathan Meeks there, and then.
So the only reason I decided to pick him, I was at a game with my mom in 2013. 2013, we were sitting in your end zone, Chris, and he signed what did I have? I had like one of the little Bills helmets. I don't know what you guys have. Yeah, that one. And I don't know, man. That's why I went with him. Just kind of random. I thought you guys would remember the 2017 playoffs, but.
No.
No. And just
Shove
like
it in my
that,
face some more, Chris.
one behind Travis.
I suck at this game.
All good, man. All good.
I just hope we catch him in. I hope we continue to get him in the Who's the Man, and then we catch him in the weekly pickups. Then we just got everything on him.
Jesus.
Big game this week.
God
fellas.
damn it, Travis.
Let's get into it.
Big game this week. Cowboys at Bills.
Keys of the game.
Well, my key to the game is let Josh continue to be Josh. That guy, when he scored, oh my Josh.
Oh my Josh.
When he scored that touchdown, I just love how he's just like, he's back, bro. He's he's giving us the oh my God, dude, the flexing. When Josh flexes, the Bills win, I feel like, bro. Like, let Josh be Josh. That's my biggest thing is on the offensive side of the thing. I would like to, like I said, I'd like to see the Bills run the football more. Your best playmaker right now is James Cook. And like we said, keep James Cook on the field. Like, James Cook is by far your best weapon that you have on offense right now. And I will say he's even more effective the last month than Stephon Diggs. He clearly has been. I will say to that point, you have to find a way to get Stephon Diggs the football. That is your playmaker. I don't need you to do what they were doing a couple of months ago where they were just absolutely force-feeding him the football, where I felt like he was getting way too many targets. But you have to scheme up a little bit better of a game plan to get him more into the game. Like, you can't have you're lucky you beat the Chiefs when you're coming off a week where your wide receivers played absolutely no factor at all. Like, to me, that's insane. To me, that's absolutely insane. Like, you had no wide receiver help at all. I just don't know if you beat the Cowboys without having any effective wide receiver help. But get Stephon Diggs involved, run the ball at James Cook, and let Josh be Josh.
Cowboys play lights out at home. It's a good thing they're not home. Bills Mafia need to show up, loud and proud. This has to be the loudest game all season that I've been to. They gotta, from snap to snap, timeout to timeout, make them burn timeouts, delay games. Bills Mafia has to show up. You got any?
Oh.
I have one more, but I'll let you go first.
Just so you know, Casey did get Denoris Searcy as well.
I like that.
Thanks for watching it, Casey.
Yeah, that's badass. Love you, Casey.
Yeah, I'm just going to piggyback off of James Cook. I mean, he's got 20 to 25 touches. I heard Steve Tasker say it today, and Thurman Thomas. They were like, yeah, I don't care if he has 24 carries and one catch or opposite. He's got to touch the ball. I don't know, man. Diggs, for me, he's going to get their best again. He's going to have Gilmore on him the whole game. Gilmore's having a great season. They are deceptible over the top. The Seahawks threw bombs on them all game a few weeks back. I don't know if you guys remember that game. So, for me, yes, run the ball 100%. I would like to see just play action. We don't run play action.
And when we do,
hardly ever.
When we do, it's success.
Yes, because, like you said, James Cook is almost averaging 6 yards a carry.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be my biggest key of the game. Defensively, CeeDee Lamb. I mean, you can't stop him. If you can hold him, that's great. But, I mean, like they have two guys on offense and defense. Micah Parsons, chip him, hold him. You're not going to be able to necessarily stop him. You can try to neutralize him. So the big thing with him is I've seen teams run right at him, and that's where he struggles the most. So if we're going to run the ball, I would like to run right at him. But, yeah, I think my biggest key is going to be, once again, I say it every week, got to win the turnover battle. Did it again. Again, we didn't score off of the turnovers, but win the turnover battle, I think we have a good shot at winning the game.
I agree.
We can't get off to a hot start and then just let them hang around like past weeks. We got lucky last week. We do that again against the Cowboys. It won't come out the way it did against the Chiefs. It just won't.
I don't disagree at all. I do think, again, you have to win the turnover battle. I mean, that's first and foremost. I think win the time of possession battle as well. You have this football the majority of the game. You got to keep Dak Prescott off the field. Dak Prescott is playing his best football he's played in his career.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, CeeDee Lamb, like you said, that's going to be a headache all game. Micah Parsons on the offensive side of things for us as a game plan. He's a game wrecker. I mean, Micah Parsons is one of the best edge rushers in the NFL, if not the best edge rusher in the NFL. He's absolutely a nightmare off the edge. That being said, I mean, I agree. Run the ball at him, but if you're going to throw the ball, I just hope you don't hold on to the ball too long.
It's got to come out.
There is not a lot of teams that can stop a guy like Micah Parsons.
I want to say I truly do think we're going to be seeing like a bomb from Josh.
I hope so.
I really do.
I hope so.
Due for one.
Doesn't it just feel like – I was saying this to my dad this past week watching the game. I was like, it just feels like when he goes and throws the ball deep the last like couple of months of the season, it just feels like it's just not there. It hasn't been there. Like – I want to see that open up a little bit.
Yeah, dude. I mean, every team's playing too high. I mean,
Right,
you're not going to throw over it.
It's just like the recipe for beating Mahomes now. Like, everybody's playing too high safeties, and they've limited these deep plays. Not that the Chiefs this year have.
Yeah, to your point, if
crazy
you're
weapons.
effectively running the ball, the Cowboys' defense is aggressive. They're going to come up. They're going to start
They'll drop a
blitzing.
safety into the box. Absolutely.
A safety will come down, and I think that's where you hit that play-action bomb.
So that I like. You pound the ball a little bit. You get them to drop that safety down the box and have a one high safety look, and that's where it opens up all of a sudden. To extend a deeper play. You guys are right. Like, we'll see some play action this week on the defensive side of things. Like you said, CeeDee Lamb's an absolute headache. Like CeeDee Lamb's having a amazing year. Just like I said, Dak Prescott's having an amazing year. It's tough to stop those guys, but Dak Prescott, when you get some pressure on him, he turns the ball over. Like, he has notoriously has turned the ball over, and that's something that let's get a couple turnovers. Rasul Douglas is going to have his hands full with CeeDee Lamb, but I mean, nothing he hasn't had to play in his career. I'm sure he's probably familiar with it.
He did well when they were playing man against Kelsey, which I forgot to bring this up, so I'm just going to throw it in here really quick. We played a lot of man against Kansas City, and you saw Benford get a little got a little exposed. He's on a man corner. That's fine, whatever. But, defensively, man, it's going to have to be a bend but don't break kind of game. Yeah. So.
It's a very winnable game.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very winnable game, but at the same time, you could see this slipping away from the Bills really easy if they don't bring their A game. It's a team you got to bring your A game. Not that there's any team that you shouldn't, but this is a team where, like you said, you can't let them hang around. So, like, I got the Bills, man. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat that.
I'm with it, baby. I took them too.
I'm only bringing it up again because I am quite honestly shocked that we're sitting here at the table.
Kick the piss out of them.
He said beat the shit out of them.
Just remember, the Bills run the East. Bills run the East. But, hey, man, that's another really successful episode of the BillsAholic Pod. Quick shout-out to the love that we got this week. Love and a lot of hate. A lot of hate, but the hate. Hey, the comments, the views, the likes, it's all love at the end of the day, right? Like it all boosts our views and
Just
stuff like that.
content.
So I will say an amazing week by all of us. Like I say, I got to shout out Tank all the time, man, helping us out with the content, amazing content that we were able to produce. So I'll give Tank a little bit of a shout out there, and then the boys at the table producing some good content for us to post on our channel. So yeah, shout out to everybody involved. Shout out to the people that watched. Shout out to the people watching this right now. And it's all love. And for me, it's go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go Bills, baby.
I'll shout out Gene. I mean,
I thought we did like 8 times already. We'll do it again.
Thanks for changing our mind about Philadelphia.
Gene,
let me-
thank you for setting him straight. I just needed somebody to do it. He wouldn't listen to me, so thank you for that. And I truly do hope we have him on again. Maybe he said he likes to scout for the draft. Maybe we get him on for the draft.
I think it's
if
a
he's
good
willing.
idea. I was gonna
If
say,
he's
I think
willing.
it's a good idea. Gene was an awesome guest. He
Looking forward to
absolutely
next time.
He absolutely changed. He did change my mind. I thought he had really good insight on not even just from an Eagles perspective, but as from an NFL perspective. I'll definitely be sure to plug his links on all of our socials, so definitely check him out. I mean, the guy definitely, he seems to know what he's talking about. So it was a pleasure to have him on, and yeah, I definitely would look forward to having him on again for sure.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Take
two.
Dom.